everybody. Welcome to episode 10 of the Intermission podcast, the show where two film students discuss classic, iconic, and obscure films from times gone by. We are your hosts, Oscar W. Fitchett.
Robbie Cimino.
I love how I don't even know what the voice is turned into. It sounds like just something from a cartoon.
I'm not going to keep it up for the full podcast.
I'm glad you never do. Imagine if this was just it.
It's a bit shaggy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit shaggy, yeah.
It's a bit shaggy.
Isn't it?
Got told that I walk like Shaggy the other day at work.
You got told you walk like Shaggy?
Yeah, so that was great.
I don't see that at all. Really. That's not accurate at all.
No, it was weird. I was just plodding around at work and like swinging my arms a bit. And everyone was like, "You're walking like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo." And it made me feel real good about myself.
Right then, a few things I want to say before we get swinging into this episode is I would like to once again remind people, time codes are in the description. Any description that you're looking at, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever, there's time codes. If you don't want to, if you're only interested in the discussion, you can see how long that lasts. If you're only interested in us talking about trivia, or only interested in us talking about Letterboxd reviews. Or imagine if someone was only interested in the outro. I don't want to hear anything else. I want to hear how they close the show.
She's usually quite abrupt. I mean, if they're in a rush, I guess.
It's becoming one of my favourite things of.
Yeah, it's good.
We know how we can end this now because we went through that phase. I still don't know how to end this. And I became a bit awkward, and now it just becomes a thing where I go, Robbie, what time are we on? Then you go like, oh, we're on like 2 hours and 45. I go, we need to end it now then.
And then that's it, and then we're done.
And then
we're out
of there. Thing. Yeah. So again, time codes in the description. Check that all out if you just if you want to see a specific point of it. No, I'll save that point to the outro bit because that's more relevant to the outro. Is there anything else that I need to say? I'm sure there is, but
I've got one.
Go on, Robbie.
I'm on 2% on my phone currently, and my notes are on my phone. So if halfway through it feels like I don't know what I'm talking about, then that's probably why. I'll go get my charger.
I was gonna say, do you want to get a charger?
Yeah, I'll go get my charger.
as opposed to just gambling with the fact of like, oh, let me just hopefully let my. I don't think Robbie can hear me right now. This is definitely getting cut. Oscar, you can do that right now.
Did you keep the people entertained whilst I was gone?
For a little bit, then it got quiet, and I just said, and then I reminded future Oscar, this is where you cut now. So there you go.
I think future Oscar should not cut it out of spite. To past Oscar.
I'm very good at fighting myself in that regard. You know that scene in Fight Club where Ed Norton just starts punching himself?
Yes.
That's me mentally a lot of the time.
Fuck's sake. I'm just
trying to prove something to no one.
Now that I've just plugged my phone into my computer, all of my photos have come up, and that is nobody wants that. Anyway, podcast.
Podcasting.
Let's podcast.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing that I want to. That's the thing I want to say.
Go on.
You know what? I usually save this to the last bit of the outro, but I'll say it now. Head over to the Instagram because there's going to do some little not bonus clips. They're excerpts from the Jurassic Park episode.
Yeah.
If you go on Instagram now, you can find Robbie's rant, the isolated rant of Jurassic World.
Yes.
Which features unseen visuals.
Yes.
That you wouldn't have seen if you watch the podcast anyway. If you only simply just want to watch Robbie's rant, go for it. There's other ones there, such as that I'm going to upload. I might upload them all as one video.
Cool.
Such as this one I might make separate. When we had a rant on the Lion King.
Oh
2019
God,
Lion King. I'll make that its own separate thing because I think that's worthy of being separate.
Definitely.
from it all. But there's also fun little things that'll be on there that I'll get to eventually.
Cool.
I'll probably edit them more so tomorrow. But yeah,
Sounds good.
they'll probably be out by this time. I just realised it's Tuesday as we're recording this now. This will be uploaded on Saturday. Head over to Instagram to probably see all of them now anyway.
Yeah. Oh, actually, here's one. Would it be today, Tuesday, the 18th of August? Fun fact, before we get into the film, it's De Niro's birthday. It's Robert De Niro's birthday today.
Yes, it was. Or was it yesterday? I can't remember.
I don't know. I saw it on Instagram today. It could be yesterday, to be fair.
I think it was yesterday, but either way, De Niro's birthday. Robert De Niro's birthday. Last week, it was John Cazale's birthday.
Yes.
This week is Robert De Niro's birthday, which slips right beautifully in to this week's film and this week's discussion that we're going to be doing, which is of the 1978 Vietnam War film, The Deer Hunter, which is directed by Michael Cimino. I'm going to say Cimino.
Okay.
I've never heard it spoken out loud. It could be completely different, but for this podcast, I'm going to say Cimino because that's how it looks like it's spelled.
Okay.
Also written by Derek Washburn. The film stars Robert De Niro, John Cazale, John Savage, Meryl Streep, Christopher Walken, George Zundza, Chuck Aspergren, and Rutanya Alder. The plot synopsis of the film, according to IMDb, is an in-depth examination of the ways in which the US-Vietnam War impacts and disrupts the lives of people in a small industrial town in Pennsylvania. Accolades that the film holds is that it has a 93% on the tomato meter and an audience score of 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. It holds an 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb, placing it at number 182 on their top 250. It has 4.1 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd. And the American Film Institute placed it at number 53 on their top 100 films of all time. Other accolades that the film holds is that it was nominated for a Writers Guild of America Award for Best Drama Written Directly for the Screen. It won a Directors Guild of America Award for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Motion Pictures. Nominated for 9 BAFTA Awards, including Best Soundtrack, Best Screenplay, Best Supporting Actor for Christopher Walken, Best Actress for Meryl Streep, Best Actor for Robert De Niro, Best Director for Michael Cimino, Best Film, and it won 2 BAFTAs for Best Editing and Best Cinematography. Nominated for 6 Golden Globes, including Best Screenplay, Jesus Christ, threw my pen there, Best Screenplay for Derek Washburn, Best Supporting Actress for Meryl Streep, Best Supporting Actor for Christopher Walken, Best Drama Actor for De Niro, Best Drama Picture, and it was nominated for 9 Academy Awards, including Best Cinematography, Best Original Screenplay, Best Supporting Actress for Meryl Streep, Best Lead Actor for Robert De Niro, and it won 5 Academy Awards for Best Film Editing for Peter Zinner, Best Sound, Best Supporting Actor for Christopher Walken, Best Director for Michael Cimino, and it won Best Picture at that year's Academy Awards. Robbie, this is both... Excuse me here, my microphone just decided to literally point downwards and just didn't want to hear what I was about to say there.
What does your knob have to say, Oscar, about the film?
About the Deer Hunter. Well, my dick says that. Anyway. No, this is both of our first time viewing this film.
Yes.
Robbie. What I want to say now, and we briefly discussed this before we started rolling, my intent for this film was I was going to watch it for the first time, not take any notes, watch it for the first time, fresh. Like just, first time experience, just sit and just watch it all. And then the next day I was going to or 2 days later, I was going to stick it on again and then do notes for it. Yeah. That's what I was going to do. After I finished the film for the first time, I thought to myself, I kind of just want to leave it and just speak how I think. I've got some brief notes and points that I noted down so I don't forget these points when discussing it. But I'm going to say now, I have a very interesting relationship with this film, Robbie.
Yeah.
I think. I have an interesting thought process with it. And I think that I kind of want to explore fully how I feel just by a discussion.
Yeah, that's fine.
as opposed to just purely analysing it like we have been doing the past few weeks with these things. Of course, we're going to get to some analytical points of it as well. Obviously, it's just how we discuss film, really, I think, now.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's just how it becomes. But, I've got, like, few points, but I kind of want to, like, properly explore my thoughts of it through a discussion with you. Similar thing with you, isn't it, really?
I haven't got a lot of notes, and it's for quite a... It's for... I can tell you exactly why, but we'll wait until I get into, overall thoughts and stuff like that. But I don't have a lot of notes either, so it will just be kind of a chat about it.
Yeah, so before we get into that chat, quick warning. Again, like I want to warn everyone within these episodes. Spoiler discussion of The Deer Hunter. We're going to get into all the spoil. Well, not every single spoiler.
Yeah.
We're going to miss some things out. But things are going to get spoiled. So, if you haven't seen The Deer Hunter and you want to see The Deer Hunter, don't listen to the rest of this podcast.
Get out of here.
Watch it, come back. Or if you don't care about The Deer Hunter, and just come in and, listen to what we think about it.
Just listen to the outro if you haven't seen it. Like those weirdos that do that.
There you go. Yeah. If anyone does that.
If anyone does that.
I think we need have them a special place on the fandom. Of being I only listen to the outros.
What if they only listen to the intro? That'd be weird.
They might just want to hear our voices and be like, that's enough.
That's cute.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's enough of that. Get it
that's
off.
Enough of this. That's enough of this cuteness. We're going to get into The Deer Hunter.
Woo.
Michael Cimino, I don't know. Came out in 1978.
Yeah.
Best Picture winner. John Cazale's final film. This is why we're doing it, Robbie. This is why we thought we'll do it, because we've talked about all of his other films. We may as well round it up into this being the final episode of the first half of this season.
Yes.
And the final John Cazale film. What did you think of it, Robbie? Just general,
I really wasn't big on this.
Yeah.
Overall, some of the ideas it tried to explore were quite interesting. I just think the execution and the way it's paced, and it's incredibly boring.
I don't know if I would say boring, but I agree with you in the sense of it got to the point where I was waiting for the ending.
Yeah.
Not because I was like, I'm sick of this now, but it was almost like, feels like this is going to be the end. No, okay, we're still going.
Yeah. I think
because I was aware this was a 3 hour, a close to a 3 hour film. I was very well aware of it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, then. I always have a body clock with films like this. I'm like, I sit and I'm like, okay, I'm aware that this is going to be spread out or all that stuff. And usually I can tell when a film's about to end almost. I can feel it.
Yeah.
The Godfather Part 1, I've seen it many times, but with me, that's a film that I can feel okay, we're wrapping up now. And we end up wrapping up.
Yeah.
But I feel like this film has a lot of moments where it's okay, come on. No, okay, we're going. We're still going.
I think for me, it was a 3 hour film that really could have been half an hour shorter.
I do honestly agree.
Yeah.
I honestly do agree with that there. I know, but again, my first mini point that I've got that I wanted to say is that I'm always curious about how a film depicts war.
Yeah.
As we've discussed this within Apocalypse Now, I've mentioned in that specific episode how I'm very anti-war.
Yeah.
I'm incredibly anti-war, and I am always cautious with how a war film is going to depict war, because for me, you're either going to go one or two sides of a coin, really. You're either going to make me strongly love the film by how you're talking about war, or you're going to make me really judge it.
Yeah.
And really not enjoy it from how you depict war. I don't think this goes fully in any direction. I don't think. So I was going into this film cautious. I was like, don't make this really patriotic.
Yeah.
Don't make this an America fuck yeah.
I don't think it really was, though.
No, that's why I was gonna say. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't want this because I was aware it was Best Picture winner and all that stuff. I was thinking to myself, was this just kind of a bit of a propaganda machine?
Yeah.
And it wasn't. I will say it wasn't.
It doesn't feel like that. I think, in my opinion anyway, I think that the stuff that the actual war scenes of the movie, the stuff that actually happens when they're in Vietnam, is probably the most interesting stuff in the whole thing for me. I really liked that the sequence with the Russian roulette in the prisoner of war camp that they were in. Loved that. I think that is definitely my standout part of the movie for me.
Oh, I agree. I've got a note that I noted down was like the first Russian roulette scene, the very first one we see.
Yeah.
I got there. I literally put it's fucking brilliant.
It's
it's one of the great scenes of film. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's like if you walk out of anything from The Deer Hunter, it's that scene, and it's like holy shit, that is one of the best constructed scenes in film.
It's brilliant, and like their friend Steve being in that kind of cage sort of thing where he's kind of drowning, and you're like, shit, are they gonna get him, and all this kind of thing, and De Niro's like, just forget about him, he's not, whatever. It's a perfect tension building. That whole sequence is really great for that.
Like because I don't know about you, Robbie. When I first, I've known about this film for a while now, and the only things I knew Vietnam War film, won Best Picture, De Niro's in it, and I knew of the Russian roulette. I've heard it was one of the most tense scenes. I heard it was one of the most raw scenes in film. And I thought, here was what I was thinking that the film was going to be, Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the full 3 hours was going to be in Vietnam.
Yeah, no, so did I.
I thought, or like at least at the beginning, like we were going to be in America and then they fly off to Nam. I thought we were going to be in Vietnam for the full 3 hours, and it was going to be this really raw, rugged, just grimy film. And the Russian roulette scene is that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was going to be the film.
And it's
that
really
was going to be the
not.
feeling. No, and I will say this, because here was my thought process on when the film was starting. We started in the, what was it, the factory? I forgot where.
Yeah, well, my first note is Terminator 2. So, yeah, I think we did start in the steel mill sort of factory.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get there. And I thought all 5 of them were... 6. It says 6 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I thought all 6 of them were going to be
in Vietnam.
In Nam.
Yeah.
And the way I thought it was going to be a thing, they're all in. They leave the factory, and that's their last night before they head to war.
Yeah, Steve's getting married.
Yes. Yes. But like my instant thought was like, okay, we're going to get this. We're going to get everyone in war, and I'm not gonna lie, I was really disappointed to find out. Oh, so Cazale, I forgot his name. Stan. It's Stan. It's the exact. It's the same name in the conversation. He's Stan. I thought Stan was gonna be in Nam as well.
Yeah, and he wasn't.
And I got really gutted because I was like, oh, we could have had so many mid scenes with John Cazale in a war setting. And I'm like, and like. I don't know. I was genuinely disappointed at that, because it's like when they're in the dance, like in the wedding reception thing, and they have the 3 of them, the big photos, and I was saying to myself, "Come on, pan out, let me see John Cazale's face."
Yeah,
and then it was like, "Wait, so it's the 3 of them? It's only those 3?" I'm like, "Oh, wait, come on."
The thing was,
that's just me personally thinking that though, because I'm like, fucking yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I also thought that. I thought we were starting off. You'd get to know the guys at home, because my second note was, hey, yeah, it's the boys, because there's a lot of that. We're like, hey, it's me, and we're having a good time, and we're drinking, and we're all buddies, and all this, and there's a lot of that. But the banter is very good between them. I do quite enjoy it. But I thought we're gonna have this. We're gonna see the camaraderie between them. We're gonna see what they're like at home. We're gonna go to the wedding. We're gonna see one of them get married. We're going to meet all their girlfriends and stuff. We're going to see the family dynamic, so it feels like there's something that they're losing when they leave and all that kind of stuff to build an emotional connection with them. And then they're all going to go off to Nam, and then we're going to follow them for the rest of the movie. What I didn't... Right. I have a very kind of a funny story behind this. This movie was on TV a few weeks ago. I didn't watch it, but Julia did. She messaged me and said, "Hey, I'm just watching that movie, The Deer Hunter," and I was like, "Oh, I've never seen it. What's it like?" She said, "Oh, I'm not watching it anymore." And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "Well, they were at this wedding for so long, and it got so boring that I turned over the channel, and then after about another 10, 20 minutes, I flicked back, and suddenly it was war, and I have no idea what happened, so I just left it." But that wedding sequence is so long.
No, it's a long one.
It really is, and a lot of it is just dancing randomly.
I don't mind it.
Yeah,
but it doesn't add anything to the plot.
No, exactly.
There's no addition to it. I'm not sure how I feel about the random scene where Stan goes and bats the woman as well.
Yeah, he full on clocks her in the head. And
I don't know how I feel about that.
No.
I don't need to see John Cazale hit a woman.
No. I didn't need that at all.
And then nothing, and it doesn't get brought up again.
No. And
it's not like he has temper issues. Do you know what could have been interesting? If he was going to war, and he went to war, and he got a bit more psychotic in war.
And that happened when he came back.
Yeah. Or like, he showed hints of that prior. And then, like, now he's in war, and now he has the freedom to be violent and be insane. And then when he gets back home, then he can't handle the fact how, like, war and destruction isn't his norm anymore.
Yeah, you can't just randomly hit people and take his anger out on things anymore. But it bottles up in him now. Yeah,
like that. Like, I feel like that could have been an interesting form of commentary.
Yeah, but just like as opposed to that, it's just my two notes on it were I did like seeing the different perspectives of everyone before the wedding was happening. Yes, I enjoyed that quite a lot. It was quite funny. There were some quite funny moments in there. Apart from obviously Meryl Streep getting hit by her dad.
That was another thing that I didn't think we needed.
Which is never mentioned again. Also.
Yeah, that didn't come back.
No. But then also, and then I put, "This is so much dancing. Please continue the film." And then the next note was, what was the whole everyone like crowding around and like getting ready for Christopher Walken to just jump over a glass?
Oh yeah.
What? But there was little bits like that. Like there was the bit as well with when they went for the first deer hunt, and those deer hunting sequences I think can be really looked into, and I'm sure we'll go into them a bit. But why were we doing that whole like leaving the guy behind with the car bit? Wait, just
I thought myself like, this is taking a long time, and then they reverse back, and then it's like, oh no, they drove off again. Okay, and I get it, but would have been a lot interesting. Well, not even interesting. What would have been better? Why not have the camera see them in the car?
Yeah.
Why not have the five of them no, it's four of them because Steve wasn't there, was he?
No, he didn't go. No, he didn't go hunting.
Oh yeah, not the first time because he never went anyway. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So it would have been a lot more interesting if we see the four of them.
No.
Just kind of be like, way, or like just bullshitting more about it.
Yeah.
Or like one of them be like, wait, come on. Go back, as opposed to just this wide shot. I think that what they wanted this wide shot of the mountains.
Yeah.
But we could have had that anyway.
We could have had that when they were hunting. They do it when they're hunting. Which
we did have in it because I mean the film I think this was shot in 70mm.
Right. Okay.
So and I didn't have the full experience because I watched it on DVD. So I watched it standard def, which that's the one thing I'm good about. I didn't see this in like the highest quality that it could be, but you can tell like from like, but it was a 70mm shot film, so obviously you want like that big grand look to it at times.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think the war sequences, especially the beginning of that before they get put into before and after they get put in the prisoner of war camp, I think those would definitely lend themselves very much to that, and the deer hunting sequences as well.
Yeah. And do you know what's weird? I mean, I know we're saying a lot of like negative things at the minute of it,
Yeah.
but it's just
I do have positives to say, I promise.
Yeah. But one thing of all the stuff that was in the film, like just scenes in the film, what I kind of wish, what we didn't see that I wanted to actually see, when I got used to the fact that we're like going through everything that's happening.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, okay, we're not just we're not having a bit of time with them, and then we cut to war. I'm like, okay, it's the first act, really.
Yeah.
Which is them in Pennsylvania.
It's a full hour.
Yeah.
Before we go to war. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, okay then. And here's me thinking to myself, they're playing the piano, which is a beautiful scene, by the way.
Yeah, that is lovely.
That moment. It's a fantastic scene. I was thinking, okay then, now I want to see them say goodbye.
Yeah.
Now I want that to be the next scene. And then go off to war.
Mm-hmm.
But then we cut to war with De Niro, with Mike already doing his thing. You get the impression that they're well into war at this point.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't new to them. They're into it. And you also get the impression that Steve and Nick haven't seen Mike in a while.
Yeah.
I want to know how that happened.
Yeah.
How do we get to that point? So I think, like, what we could have done, we could have cut most of the wedding out.
Mm-hmm.
We could have cut Meryl Streep, Linda. We could have cut Linda getting back by her dad. We could have cut a bit of the deer hunting, not all of it, a bit. We could have trimmed it down a little bit. And then we could have had more of that, I think.
Yeah.
Because you're already going 3 hours. You're
Exactly.
not like, you're not wasting any more time.
No, exactly. I think in terms of positives though, cause I don't want to dwell on the negatives for it too much, but I think that some of the stuff that it chooses to keep in is real weird choices.
Yeah.
Which kind of negate it kind of makes the whole thing be this long winding road around the point that it's trying to get to. But in the beats along it, which mostly come from Michael, Robert De Niro, and Nick, Christopher Walken's relationship with each other, those beats as that goes along are really great. When it gets to the point that it's trying to prove, they're really good.
Yes.
And I loved Christopher Walken in this.
One of my points here, I got the acting is terrific, especially De Niro, Walken, Streep, and Cazale, because I do think John Cazale was actually really good.
He was, yeah.
For like, again, not much, but he was brilliant in it. I liked De Niro a lot in this film.
I really did.
I think he's. For a while I was thinking to myself, is this the best I've seen him? It's not. No. I don't think this is the best I've seen him. I still like him a lot in Raging Bull. A lot, and even Taxi Driver and King of Comedy, I think are like two of his stronger performances, three of their stronger performances, but he's really good in this. And this is something that I thought about earlier, and I thought, do I mean that? I thought, no, I think I do, and I think the acting is better than the characters.
Yeah.
And I started doubting myself at first, because I thought, no, like, I got into their characters. I'm like, did I get into their characters because of the way they were acting, though? That's what I think. I don't think I got into them the way they were written. I got into them because I like seeing these actors acting as these characters. Like, I got into the lads because of De Niro's demeanor and Walken's, like, everything, and Cazale and John Savage, and like, I got into them because of how they were acting. The only reason why I cared anything about Linda was because Meryl Streep was really fucking good in the film.
Yeah, she was.
Like, I don't think there's much of Linda as a character that really grips me.
No.
Again, I don't know how this film would even read. I don't know, like, how compelling of a read it would be as a script. Again, I can't say anything because I haven't. But from watching the film, I don't know how invested I am in the bare bones of the actual characters.
Yeah, I mean, Linda isn't really given much to do outside
No.
of when they're back at home.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a big That's like within the third act, like when
yeah,
we're
because
back home.
but
Yeah,
you're led to, believe this whole relationship with her and Michael, which
yeah.
because he obviously really likes her and all this kind of stuff, but she's meant to be marrying Nick. Um,
Yes, yeah.
and that never really culminates to anything.
No, yeah.
Which I feel like that's kind of a missed opportunity.
There's a lot of it. And what's interesting to me about this, because again, this is a film that's kind of like an ensemble in a way.
Yeah, it is.
Like
Yeah,
there's like a group.
yeah.
Of
Although
people.
I'd definitely say De Niro's the lead, but he's not entirely the focus of it.
No,
Yeah.
he is he is the lead. I mean more so like there's like multiple people in there. It's not like how I don't know. Trying to think of something. It's not like how the conversation, how there's multiple people in it, but it's Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
Like it's Gene Hackman's thing, or even like in Serpico as well. How it's like it's Serpico, it's Pacino.
Yeah.
That's it really. Whereas like there's a group here, and I think there are a lot as you said there. There's a lot of seeds planted almost where it's like, wait, so is there this? Is there like what's happening with the relationship here between these lot?
Yeah.
Like, what's this dynamic? And there was one moment where I was thinking to myself, is Linda and Stan a thing? It's at the moment in the party where they're setting things up and he gives her a kiss. And I'm like, on the cheek. And I'm like, is this going to be a thing where they're together?
Well, yeah.
But I think what that is, that's literally just like a thing, because in real life, John Cazale and Meryl Streep were married.
Yeah.
So I think that might have just been a thing that just got caught on camera.
No, exactly.
That's how that felt more so. Because I'm saying that, and I'm going to I think, because again, the film sets this up where what could have been well interesting, because it's almost the second act is the war, and then the third act is them back home.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. It's almost like it's set up to be like, are we going to see some dysfunction? Are we going to see this group of mates kind of fall apart now?
Yeah.
But we never really get that. But it's set up. And what I find lately, the past few days, I've got into the music of Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
And learning about them and all that stuff. And I listened to the album Rumours this morning for the first time, and I looked into the songs and that. And I was thinking to myself, and that's what made me think, I'm like, man, like what happened with them? Like that band in that time period. If that was what happened with this group of characters in Deer Hunter, I don't know, that could have been well interesting, I think. Again, I'm saying a lot of things where like I'm not saying the film's bad because of this. I'm just saying like this is what I think was going to be set up.
Yeah.
We didn't quite get that.
Yeah, I think I had a really good point then in my head, and I'm struggling to remember it. So I think it's all kind of set up to go one way, and in actuality, the relationships between this ensemble, and when you're doing an ensemble piece, it's the relationships are what is gonna drive your drama and is gonna drive your story. But instead
because we may not relate to war, but we can relate to being in a group, into a friendship group, and different people having different inflictions and confrontations, and then that causing a thing where like I'm not sure like it's gonna be awkward now because I still want to be both of your mates. But
exactly.
I think yeah.
I mean, so they set up a story as if it's going to focus on the relationships between these characters, and then they go off to war, and when they get back, when you really look at it, nothing changes in the ensemble. It's specific characters that develop, and but the focus at the beginning was on the ensemble as a whole, so you don't feel like you know the characters enough to understand why they'd have changed that way.
I think,
and it kind of falls apart a little bit with that for me.
Yeah, like I do. Like I was well into thinking, like within the first act, I was like, okay, these characters, sweet.
Mm.
I get it. Let's go into it. And then we're in that Vietnam, and we're in the Russian roulette scene. And then it's that moment where Mike is talking to Steve.
Yeah.
And he's saying, it'll be all right, Steve. It'll be all right. Just do it. Just do it or you're going to get killed anyway. Just do it. And it's like, that emotion is there from the fact that I knew these people before they were soldiers.
Yeah.
And I knew Mike and I knew Steve.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew what they were like. And it's not like I saw... And that's the one thing I'm glad, in my perception, how I thought we were just going to be in Vietnam through the whole film. If that was the case, we wouldn't have that, I don't think. Because then we wouldn't know that. They could have just known each other as
exactly,
part of the platoon. But I'm glad we had that time. Because moment there, I'm like, fuck, this is rough. Because Mike's like almost the quote-unquote leader of the group. He's the guy holding everyone together.
Yeah, he seems the most apt at being a soldier also. Like, he seems to know what he's doing.
Yes.
Which I don't know if it's meant to be because he was a hunter or some other reason. That's some deeper meaning you can look into.
Yes. But
he's definitely the most calm and collected and getting on with it, because he's the same with Nick when it happens with him and Nick as well.
Yeah, definitely. And right, I'll just briefly swing through some of my notes.
Go on.
I think we briefly talked about this. I got the cinematography is really good. I like the use of wide shots.
Yeah.
And so it's again, and to which when I learned it was a 70mm film, you can't really do much close-ups on that.
No, exactly.
Type of format. But again, they used the wide really well. I got here. I'm not sure if it needed to be 3 hours long, which we've kind of touched upon there about how like things just kind of like.
Yeah.
It just kind of like, why did we need most of the wedding? Why did we need them titting about with, was it Chuck?
Yeah.
I think the bigger bloke.
Yeah.
We didn't need much of that.
Why did they have to go bowling? Why did he throw himself down the aisle? That was weird.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot. I completely forgot about that scene. Yeah, that's the scene that could have got cut. Again, you know what? A lot of these moments, I would be fine with if they didn't go off to war. If this wasn't a war film. Like, if this was a film about a group of guys, a group of people.
Yeah.
Almost like a darker Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a more like heavy Dazed and Confused. That would have been neat. That's what these moments are, almost.
Yeah.
Like a hangout film, but not glitz and glamour or not nostalgic. Just like we're a bunch of adults, but life's shit type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, even if it was, they did go to war and it came back and it was about the breaking down of this friendship group, a scene like that can work, even though it doesn't show anything, because it doesn't even show that like Michael's uncomfortable in the situation because he's been to war or anything. Nothing changes. It's just. Do you know what? Because does the bowling scene? It comes before they go to war, doesn't it? Or is it after? No, it was after. It's when Michael comes home.
Was it? I thought it was before. No. Do you know what would have been interesting in that scene, in that moment? If bowling alley, there's a lot of loud noises. There's big crashes, and then like you can do some fun things with sound, where you do the bowling pins crashing, and you do that mixed with the sound of. You start like fading out the sound effects of bowling pins smashing together, and you start fading that into a explosives. Yeah. And then you can do a thing where Michael goes, I need to leave, I can't stay. And then he like goes out, and then like Stan has to cut, and we have like a mint scene between Stan and Mike, because I just wanted that Ron Cazale scene. I wanted that Ron Cazale moment. Which we kind of get it in that scene with when he's talking about that woman. And he's like that. I do like that moment. He's like, she's beautiful, honestly. Yeah. No. Yeah. He's like, do you think she's intelligent? And he's like, no. He's like, do you think she's good in bed? He's like, well, why don't you just ask her? And he just looks at her, and she gives him this really weird look. Yeah. I did enjoy that. I mean, because Cazale in this movie was kind of... He was different to how I'd seen him before. He was most like his character in, I guess, in The Conversation. Stan, yeah.
Because he's kind of like he's a bit of a sleazebag in this.
Yeah.
He's kind of a bad bloke. I mean, he's charming and endearing in the way that he performs. I think that's, again, like you were saying, liking the performances more than you liking the actual characters, because I feel like if someone else was to deliver those lines, they would have just come across as a bit of an arsehole.
Yeah, like, because I think Cazale just has natural charisma.
Exactly.
He just had this like aura about him,
Yeah.
where he could just look at someone, and you'd be like, shit. That's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
that's kind of what he has with him, and he had that with the way he delivers lines and stuff.
Yeah.
Next moment I got them singing in the bar is brilliant.
Yeah.
I watched that scene earlier today before I came on with you, and I love it so much. And again, that's the moment there where I'm like, I'm just looking at that scene. I'm like, I've had that with mates where we've just kind of been. There's been moments where we've been out and we've been sat. The conversation's died down, but there's music playing, and then all of a sudden we just start singing along to it. Like we've had that, and that feel. It's like the bit where like Nick's like having a bit of a jig to it.
Yeah.
And then like and Stan and I think it's Chuck are like at the bar, and they just start like belting it out. I don't know, and it's a tune as well. That song, it
is an absolute bang. It also plays at the wedding.
Yes, yeah.
Which I liked, because see things like that. It's where you're showing the camaraderie of these characters, and I think each of the actors had excellent chemistry with each other.
Yes, yeah,
they felt like a group of mates.
Because I got there, the whole character dynamic feels real and authentic throughout the film.
Yeah. Oh God,
like,
yeah.
Like, and again, in juxtaposition with that moment, them singing in the bar to I seriously need to look at I think it is Chuck.
Yeah.
Who plays the piano.
Yeah. Or is that Joe?
It might be Joe. Hang on. The Deal Hunter. Let me load up IMDb.
I think Joe owns the bar.
John. There's no Chuck at all. Why do I think Chuck?
Oh no.
Axel. Right. Chuck is the actor's name.
Oh, okay.
That's where I got it from. His name's
that makes
Axel.
Sense.
Axel is the beardy, the big bloke with the beard.
Yeah.
And John is the guy who plays the piano.
You're right. Okay.
Yeah. Fun fact about the actor who played Axel, Chuck Aspergren, not an actor. They when they were going to a factory for like filming, like sound locations, De Niro got on with it. De Niro got on with him, and like Michael Cimino was like, "He's pretty neat. We should get him in the film."
Oh, that's great.
So that's just a steel worker.
That's lovely. That's a really nice little fact.
But I won't think that because he's quite charismatic.
He is. He's really good. Actually, I really enjoyed his character.
But but again, when they're playing the piano, when John's playing the piano, and they're just there in silence, and they're kind of like the three of you, you're going to war.
Yeah.
Shit. And it's that moment where they might be like, we might never see you again. Like moments like that always fucking like wreck me within any film, where it's like if a mate, like scene with like friends, and any moment where like this could be the last time I ever speak to you. I get proper like, oh man, it's rough. I had that with 50-50. I still have that with 50-50 every time I watch that.
Yeah.
I can start bawling every time. It's when Seth Rogen and Joe Scott-Lever are on the bench, and I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna be going in a bit here. But like but you can juxtapose that with them singing in the bar and then them being in the bar, another musical moment, but instrumentally and just kind of
far more somber.
Yeah, I did wonder if that was going to be the last time we see the lot of them that stayed in Pennsylvania, because I didn't know if the whole film was going to be in Vietnam after that. I was very prepared for that in my mind to be like, was that the last time John Cazale was on screen ever?
I was thinking about that.
Because it was like that shot where it's like he's in the foreground and then John's in the background playing piano, and I'm looking at him, I'm like, it's not meant to be, but it almost feels like a memorial to him
No,
And
it really did.
yeah. And
Completely.
I got emotional because of that.
Yeah,
And
I
then we
think
see him again anyway, which I'm glad about. But yeah,
I think that scene plays very well coming off the back of the ending to the wedding sequence,
yeah,
where
yeah.
with the soldier who they ask about Vietnam,
The Green
what it's
Beret.
like, and he just says "fuck it,"
Fuck it. Yeah.
and it makes, because they're all, before that they're getting celebrated for going off to war, and they seem to be really excited about it. And then as soon as that happens, they're still quite excited about it, but it's way more ominous now.
Oh yeah.
Instantly.
Because it's almost like they've got now time to themselves. They're in this bar by themselves.
Yeah.
It's their regular bar. No one else is there except them.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when it's like, this group's going to be split in half.
Yeah.
With 3 of you might never come back again. Like, and that's again powerful stuff again, and that's like you don't need words, you don't need dialogue in that moment.
No, not
That's
all.
that's like a thing of like that's just visual storytelling at its best. I think. Yeah, I got here. The first Russian roulette scene is fucking brilliant. It's just again
It is impeccable.
Just everything about that. I got like goosebumps when the final blank was done. I was like, oh man,
It's horrifying as well. That whole sequence is because the whole time I was like, how do they get out of that?
oh yeah, like that's a short film. You can make an incredible short film from that moment.
Oh yeah,
I think like that can
completely.
make just incredible stuff. Yeah, definitely. I think like I wish that was the only Russian roulette scene.
Yeah, because it kind of keeps coming back
We see
as a motif.
We see more Russian roulette than we see war
Yeah,
in this war film. And I start thinking to myself, would this have just been better if this was just kind of like a gang film as opposed to a war film? Like that's what like this feels like it would be just I don't mean mafia. I just mean like they get into crime somehow or whatever.
yeah,
Like they lose their jobs, and then I'm saying a load of alternative takes to it, but I feel like that's a moment where like that, like if you're doing loads of Russian roulette, it feels more like it would have been because honestly that would be a very interesting story. 3 of them end up getting made redundant, and the only way they can afford to keep themselves living is they go into life of crime. That's the only way I feel like a Russian roulette thing feels more visceral,
yeah.
as opposed to just like it's just more Russian roulette. And then it's just
because it just keeps happening, there's even that the nod to it with where De Niro puts the gun to Cazale's head.
I have a thing to say about that scene. I'll say it now. Right.
Go on.
I didn't like it.
Okay.
I liked Cazale's performance. I didn't like the scene overall, and it reminded me of a scene in The Hurt Locker.
Right.
Which, have you seen The Hurt Locker, Rob?
I haven't, no.
It's not a massive spoiler, and to which I think a similar situation almost, really, just 30 years apart. Hurt Locker won Best Picture, and I remember hearing this thing about it's such a raw depiction of war. Obviously, it's the Afghanistan war at that time.
Yeah.
It's such a raw depiction of war. It's incredible. It's amazing. And I finally watched The Hurt Locker, and I found it kind of just nothing. And I don't feel that strongly about The Deer Hunter. I think The Deer Hunter has a lot of things to it. But I think there's a moment in The Hurt Locker where they're in the place where they're sleeping, and Jeremy Renner ends up having a bit of a fight with another soldier.
Right.
And then Jeremy Renner ends up holding a knife to the guy's throat, and he has this thing of like you basically a thing like you don't know what I've been through type of bullshit. Like
right.
That type
Okay.
of thing. And then he's like, I've seen because he's a bomb diffuser, Jeremy Renner. In the
okay.
So he's like, I've seen, and he says, I've seen so much shit in my life, and then he ends up like cutting his chest with the knife to show how hard he is. And
right.
And then it's meant to be, oh, how visceral is that? But it came across like. You're a bit of a wanker, mate. Like that's how it came across for me in The Deer Hunter, where it's like, you don't want to play games, Stan. This isn't real. This isn't a game, Stan. Go on, let's try like blah. And it's like, oh, why though? Why did that need to happen? I don't get it. Like, why didn't you just have Mike be like, this you don't play with this shit, Stan. And then you have a quiet. Well, you could have had a quiet moment where he goes, Stan, I'm going to tell you exactly what I've seen. I've seen men put guns to their head, play with guns, and they don't walk out of there.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been as opposed to De Niro giving a shouty De Niro performance.
And also, it makes Stan as a character look like a fucking idiot. Because
he went,
he puts that gun to his friend's head, cocks it, and then when Mike takes the gun off him, he goes, "What? Do you think it was loaded?" And then he shoots it, and it was loaded. And you're thinking, like, so why did you lie? Were you gonna shoot your friend? What? It just makes him look like a really horrible person.
Like, you could have had such a poignant moment with that scene, but it didn't happen. This film doesn't feel Oscar bait. That moment feels Oscar bait.
Yeah, because it feels like that moment of putting the gun to a friend's head, lying about it being, about it being loaded and stuff. That should have gone to a different character. It should have gone to one of the characters that went to Nam. And then it's more of a poignant moment that he's pulled a gun on his friend.
Yeah, that could have been... Yeah.
Like, why give it to one of the guys who didn't go? Because then it's just not a character moment. It makes them look like idiots.
Or if you are going to do it, where it's like, why not have him... If he's like, did you think I had it loaded? And he didn't actually have it loaded.
Yeah.
And then Mike goes, fine, you want to see something? You want to play it? And then he loads the gun.
And then he loads it, spins it, puts it to his own head.
Yeah. His own head. Why
to Stan's?
Like,
because that's weird.
Sense. Yeah, because you didn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, why not just put the gun to your head and everyone's like, Mike, don't play around, Mike. Put it down. And then he pulls it and everyone's like, Jesus, never do that again. And he goes like, and then like Mike can go, how about you never do it again? And then he like throw it on, I don't know. I'm not saying I can write it better, but I'm just saying like, this is like, I feel like we didn't need that.
Yeah.
We didn't need that particular moment.
No, exactly.
And, like it just like that's the moment where like I start like because I'm gonna say now I think the third act's the weakest act.
Completely.
Of the whole
I
film.
completely agree with you.
I'm not saying it falls apart completely. I'm not saying it just shits the bed. But I'm just saying like I didn't like you could have done a lot. You could have done a lot more with it.
I mean, well, yeah. Let's move on to the third act because we've talked about the beginning and the Vietnam stuff a bit more. Unless you want to talk about the Vietnam stuff a bit more.
And there's not much really else for me to talk. I'll get a few bits in there. I got like 2 more notes. It's not massively. I've got the blood effects are eerily realistic, and I like that. And I know that, and I know that specifically. I know why that like spraying from the head's realistic.
Yeah.
Because from another Vietnam War film which came out this year, To Five Bloods, when Spike Lee shows an actual footage of a man getting his head fucking shot.
Yes.
And it's like,
thanks for that, Spike.
Which is awful.
It's horrible, yeah.
Awful. And it's exactly like that in this film as well.
Yeah, it is.
Just bang and then a squirt. And it's grim. So I like that aspect of it.
Yeah.
And I've got here the scene where Nick is breaking down in the medical facility is absolutely heartbreaking. And that's the best of Walken in that film. It
really is, yeah.
First of all, we learn he's Nikolai.
Yeah.
Which is, because I thought it was like, has he got the wrong guy here? I'm waiting for him to go like, nah, what do you mean? Nah, wrong person. But he goes, yeah, it's American. You go, oh.
Yeah.
And then he just, is it when they ask like, what's your parents' date of birth? And then he just starts crying. That's a very real cry as well. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I think that's the last time Walken is really good in it.
Yeah.
I mean, because really good.
The only time he shows up again is the ending, which we'll get to.
Which
was hit or miss for me.
We see him get involved with that shit.
Yeah.
Which I think's alright. Which I think's fine. But I remember it was fine. I don't know. I didn't have any feelings towards that. But I was like, I don't want to see a film where Nick just becomes a hitman.
Yeah.
I don't want that, because then that becomes silly, I think, for what the film is.
Yeah.
Oh,
100%.
And the last thing I got to say here, which is not the very last thing, but one of the things I want to say before we get into the... no, I may as well just go through all my notes here, like just briefly as
go
well.
for it, yeah.
The Cavatina track is beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, the score on the whole
Yeah.
is very good.
The score's good. The Cavatina, because I watched this film with my mum, because she's seen this film years ago, and I said, do you want to watch it with me? And she was like, yeah, sure. She remembered liking it, but she couldn't remember a thing about it. Example, when the credits started coming up, Meryl Streep's credit came up, and she was like, I don't remember her in this film. And yet she's quite a pivotal point in the film. So we watched it, and my mum told me that the Cavatina, the song, was huge in the charts. Like when this film... Like,
really?
It was a massive chart hitter. Which is interesting to me, because it's just a classical guitar piece.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect that.
Because when my mum told me that, I was expecting, like, it's the moment where, like, De Niro goes to the motel, and then it starts playing. And then my mum said to me, she went, this was, like, it's called Cavatina, and it was, like, big in the charts. I was expecting, like, a female singer to start singing over it.
Yeah, but no, it's just...
Yeah, it was just an instrumental. And what I realised at the credits, it says, theme song written by John Williams. And I was like, wait, what? That was John Williams. It's not that John Williams. It's a classical guitarist called John Williams.
I thought you meant it's the Northern School of Art alumni himself, John Williams.
No,
that would have been incredible.
But I saw John Williams. I was like, wait, so they got John Williams just to do this track? I was like, no, it's not. It's just another musician.
It's a John Williams.
Who did an amazing job with the track. But
yes, you really did.
But I thought it was going to be like, as in Star Wars.
What?
No.
Now there's 3 John Williams. Is it John Williams? I don't know. What's the plural of John Williams?
I think it's just John Williams, but with the apostrophe. But I think it's pronounced Williams. Just I don't know. I don't think you go Williamses. I think it is just Williams.
I'm gonna go Williams.
Willie I. No, that's bad.
Willie I.
Go move on for that.
The Willie I. Excuse me.
I got here. I feel the film doesn't go deeper with the characters' emotions of war. It stays quite surface level. We see they are torn up and sad, but I never truly feel it. And the big example of that is when again De Niro goes to the motel and he kind of just sits there. And I'm like, I can see he's sad. I don't feel it.
No.
And the moment when Linda's trying to pull Michael to bed, and you're just kind of like, no, I don't want to do it. I just can't. He's meant to be like, I'm still, getting a bit PTSD. Like, I'm still getting a bit off with this war shit. But how it comes across more so like that, it comes across more like he's just not into Linda. That's how. Yeah,
it came across more like he's like, oh no, but you're with Nick, and I don't want to be mean.
Even though
it came across more like that.
Even though he outright doesn't have a problem with trying to outright get with her in the wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, it sounds like I'm shitting on the film completely. I'm not. There's moments though. There's moments in this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like we never quite like. I forgot who said it. I saw something not long ago where like. Oh, I watched a Cinefix video where they go through the most emotional moments in film, and there's a bit where they say, yeah, it's all fine and good seeing a character cry, but all at that point you're seeing a character cry. You're not...
Yeah.
If you get kind of sad because you're seeing a sad emotion happen, but you're not feeling it. It's very easy just to show like 11 clips of people crying, and you can be a bit like, oh, that's sad. But otherwise I'm a sadomasochist.
Yeah.
But I'm not. But there's no context to the fact they're crying, so I'm not feeling anything. Whereas, like, I think like it could have been very easy to really get a proper guttural reaction from me, at least in this film. And I was waiting for it. I was waiting for the moment, and I thought it was going to happen at the end roulette scene. I thought it was about to happen, and then the thing happened. And then all emotion went away from me. And then I was I was ready. It was building up. And I mean, my next note is literally I feel conflicted with the whole ending, the Russian roulette scene, the funeral, the wake. I feel massively conflicted with this. But so I'll say it now, and we can like jump back to any other points.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it because when when Mike sat down face to face with Nick, I forgot his name there, Nick, and great acting by De Niro, I have to say there.
Yeah, he is great.
That moment, it's fantastic shit right there. And he puts the gun to his head and he goes, "I love you, Nick." And then he clicks. And then I'm like, oh, God, no.
Yeah.
Okay. And then like Nick starts like almost like coming to it almost. And then he clicks.
Yeah, because he remembers certain things.
Yeah, and then he clicks. And then I remember the scene. And then they start kind of like feeling a bit more relieved. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm going to cry in a bit. I'm going to be absolutely a wreck by the end of this scene. Because then I start remembering when Mike went running naked and then Nick sat down with him in the basketball court. And then I start remembering that scene, which is the scene that did get to me a bit, where Nick went to Mike. Man, I just love this place. So if anything happens, just don't leave me there. Bring me back here.
Yeah.
And I start remembering that scene during the Russian roulette thing. I was like, oh, I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry in a bit. And then Nick shoots himself. Yeah. And then I stop feeling like that. And then, because the shot was kind of lackluster. And then De Niro's performance goes from really emotional to kind of not any form of connection at all with me.
Kind of Al Pacino in Godfather Part 3E.
Kind of, yeah. And then I'm kind of like, oh, that's gone from me now. And then the funeral happens, and then there's nothing. And then the wake happens, and I'm like, right, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for that moment to like get me.
Sad.
I see John Cazale looking sad. I'm like, if anyone's gonna make me cry, it's this man. So come on,
come on, John,
do something. Film. And then I like the interaction between them. They're like, I'll make eggs. Oh, shit. Yeah. Cups. Oh, coffee. Yeah. I'm like, and everyone's quiet. And that felt like a real wake. It felt like, I was like, this atmosphere is down to a T.
Yeah.
The way they're talking, the dialogue, it's brilliant.
Yeah, definitely.
And like when like John goes, I'll make the eggs. And then Linda goes, I'll help. And then John goes, no, Linda, sit down. Come on. Don't worry about it. I'm like, right, I'm waiting. Come on. You're getting me back now. And then they sing, was it America the Great? Can't remember.
Yeah.
And then I'm
some
like,
America song.
And then I thought to myself, was this the point of the film?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was for me. They started singing it, and then I was listening to what they were singing, and I was like, but that wasn't the point.
Yeah, and I thought, like, because I thought myself, my instant thought was like, because this is me anti-war Oscar thinking this. I'm like, oh, they're saying like America has caused all this pain for them. But then the way they're kind of smiling after it, they're almost like, but America's great though.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And then it ended. And I was like, hang on. Wait.
And then it goes out like an 80s sitcom.
I went through this whole film thinking to myself, like, war shit. And it is. And you did an all right job. You did fine with it. And then we actually get to a funeral. And then you sing a song about how good America is in a non-ironic way.
Yeah.
And then the last frame of John Cazale in any film ever is in with that dumbass hat.
Yeah, which, by the way, I thought was what his hair looked like unbrushed until he stepped out into the open.
Exactly. Like, when he's in the back of the car, I was like, wait, how much time has passed to where that's happened?
I was like, does John Cazale have an afro when he hasn't slicked his hair back?
Yeah, I was like, what? It's a hunter's hat.
And then it turns out, and you're like, oh, it's a hat. Okay, never mind.
That wasn't an issue for me, by the way. I didn't actually like freak out about the fact that was my last time seeing John Cazale ever.
Oh no,
but you know what I mean? It's like, I'm like, do you know what would have been a lot more fitting?
Go on.
I love you, baby.
Yeah.
It's quite alright. I love you, baby. Why not? Like,
why would you not?
Why not that song?
Yeah.
And then they have a chuckle because they remember the good times.
Better. What the thing is with it is that you haven't seen or heard anything of Nick's character for like an hour.
No, yeah.
Up to the point when you see him again. There's no context as to why he is the way he is now. You don't find out why.
I didn't like it.
He just is kind of weird and mental and kind of like just dead behind the eyes, and it's like he's being mind controlled by something in like a weird superhero movie.
I hate it. I don't know why he's got like Hail Hydra'd.
Yeah, it's like he's been Hail Hydra'd.
It's like a moment where Mike goes, "Hey, it's me. It's Mike. Say it's Mike. It's Mike. Mike who? Mike who? I don't know." It's like,
yeah,
what's happening? How don't you know? And then it's like at the roulette scene and there's like he's like snaps Alva where he's like, "Oh, Mike, yeah." It's like, what the fuck is what? Why?
Yeah,
Why
what is this? It's like in fucking Civil War with Bucky. It's like they've got that Russian book out where they start just saying Russian words at him until he goes mental, and then after a while it wears off and he's like, "Oh, Steve, no."
This is wild.
That's not how it works in real life.
This is the prototype for like Winter Soldier and all that.
Yeah, it's just strange.
Winter Soldier got the shit from Deer Hunter.
Yeah.
That's what's happened.
It's just weird, and I think and when he sits down as well, he chose to remind him of a memory to get him back. They chose the completely wrong one for De Niro to mention.
What is it? Well, the fact he likes the trees.
Yeah, but it was about him liking the trees when they're like hunting and stuff.
Mm.
Talk about the time he was in the basketball court.
Yeah.
When you said you'd bring him home.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not that?
Talk about that scene. Otherwise, why did you put it in the first place? It's again another seed sown for something better to happen than what does happen in the end.
I think, again, we're on about the scene where Mike's got the gun to Stan about that's the Oscar Beatty scene. This is quite Oscar Beatty as well.
Yeah.
It's just that moment where it's like, then the two characters have an emotional time. Then the character shoots himself anyway.
Yeah. For some reason.
And then the other character cries. Like, really just like...
Proper cries.
But it's not... I don't know. It's not quite Godfather 3 crying, but it almost went there.
Yeah.
It almost went there.
It almost got there.
You know, because it was the way it was shot as well. I'm like, why is it really stationary?
Yeah.
Like, why does it look like some I shot like a year ago? Like framing wise. It was weird.
Yeah. I don't know, we're being too negative. Thing.
No, but those are
the
genuine...
bit with John Cazale on the boots was pretty good.
Yeah, I do want to talk about that scene, but like those are like generally the only negatives I have with it. And I don't hate the film. I don't.
I didn't hate it. It was just kind of fine.
Do you know what? This is what I was thinking. Somewhere in there, right? If you take all the best bits of this film, and all the best bits of Apocalypse Now and mix them together, you've got the best war film ever.
Yeah.
You've got the greatest depiction of war ever. Because again, I love Apocalypse Now, but I do think there's more. You could add more to that and make it a lot more impactful as well. And this is coming from someone who flat out fucking adores that film.
Yeah.
The best moments in Deer Hunter are almost the moments that I wouldn't have mind seeing in Apocalypse Now.
Mm-hmm.
But there's an amazing film in The Deer Hunter.
Yeah,
you can see it. For me, there's a film in there which I adore, but it didn't turn out that way.
No, exactly.
But I liked a lot. I liked a lot in it.
I would say
again, Russian Roulette, one of the best scenes in any film ever. Like just easily. The Nick in the medical facility, excellent.
Yeah, really good.
The actual scenes in the jungle, which isn't a lot, brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. I was kind of disappointed because I thought we would have seen, because we saw Nick in the medical facility, I thought we were going to cut to Mike and Steve in the jungle.
Yeah.
Like Mike trying to keep Steve, you know,
alive.
Yeah, from the fact he just broke his leg, which was a gnarly.
Yeah, that was
thing.
a good little practical effect. That I liked that.
Oh, it was brilliant, and like the shot of them in the helicopter when they again, honestly, I would have genuinely loved it. Right, if the first act, whatever, like first act was what we had,
mm-hmm.
and then the rest of the film was in Nam.
Yeah.
And
maybe the end.
And at the very end, they go to the funeral.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly think that would have been great. You would have cut a lot of Meryl out there, I think, but, you know.
That's fine. She doesn't do a lot anyway.
Like, I liked her in the film, but...
Yeah, but she doesn't do a lot except for being someone for Robert De Niro to kind of swoon over for the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, and the big, if that would be the case, the big, like... Oh, that's another thing. I've just thought of another damn negative.
Go on.
When Linda is in the wake, I totally forgot that she had a thing with Nick.
Yeah.
By that point, I'm like, I don't get that.
They were engaged, technically.
Were they? Oh, yeah.
Because he proposed at the wedding, didn't he? Kind of.
Yeah, but it wasn't really a proposal. It was like, well, if you wanna.
Yeah, if you wanna, I guess.
But I never... Yeah, but I don't know. But again, anyway... Sorry, like just bring up the negatives again. But again, all the Vietnam Wars, that in the jungle, brilliant, absolutely fucking loved.
Yeah, really good stuff in there.
That was like the grit that I loved in the film. We talked about the basketball court scene, loved that.
Really great stuff.
Great shit there.
Great performances from both of them.
Yeah, Walken was really good in that, and De Niro really good in that as well.
They felt like mates.
Yes, because
which was good.
That's like one of the only time when you get like two mates, but it was just one-on-one. Because again, I love seeing like the group of them, but I mean everyone has this. You have a group of mates, and you always have one mate though that you can just like pull to one side and be like, "Look, man, I don't know, I just don't know." Yeah, and like you just have this like raw conversation that you wouldn't have in a group. Mm-hmm. And that's what that point was. Yeah. And it was brilliant. It was beautiful. And again, the deer hunting moments, which we didn't discuss properly, which we can get into that.
Yeah.
More so now. I liked a lot. I really liked them.
Mm-hmm.
I liked, again, we talked like the Stan with the boots.
That scene is great.
I was tense. I don't know why. But
Cazale's really good in that scene.
Yes.
As well. I really enjoyed him there.
Because that felt kind of improv.
Yeah.
A bit about it's like just give him it's when one of them goes, "Fuck Stan, just shut up. Here's the boots."
Yeah.
And then Mike goes, "I said no, Stan."
It felt very natural.
Yeah.
And very much like these guys have been mates for years. Because he's like, you do this every time.
Yeah.
And I'm sick of doing it for you.
Yeah.
I liked that. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, no, and there's that like actual like conversation between the two of them. The wide shots, mate.
Oof.
In those settings.
Yeah. Apart from the one with the car.
I mean, it was a nice looking shot, even if it did go on for like a few minutes too late.
It was just dumb. I don't understand why it's in the movie.
No.
But there was one where I think it's the only shot that I made an actual note about. When De Niro was stood on top of that like pile of rocks.
Yes.
And there was a little puddle at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see his reflection, and it was like cut in half.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Yeah.
I liked that one.
And I mean, you can get into that in the sense of like, I mean, it's an obvious comparison of like, it's like if you're hunting deer, isn't that just like you're basically also you're training to hunt a man and all that thing. I've just thought, God damn it, it's not a negative, but it's a thing that I kind of think what would have been really neat if we got a scene in the jungle where De Niro is hunting a Vietnam soldier in that style.
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty good.
And then and then when he shoots, and then he gets him, and then he's almost like, "Fuck, that wasn't the same as what I've been doing with the deer."
Yeah.
And then he cuts back to Pennsylvania, and he almost gets like, that's why he lets the deer go. And he's like, oh, why am I doing it though?
Yeah, exactly.
And again, you can get that from those scenes. It's not shown. That's the only thing that I don't like about it. It's like the moments like there's things that are hinted at, but they're not shown.
I think sometimes it's way too subtle.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Like the movie itself and what it's trying to say is sometimes way too subtle. That it seems like it's dancing around the point a bit.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like we're not quite getting there. We're not quite there. Like you're presenting something, but you're not quite getting me.
We're not into it.
Yeah, like that's what I mean by surface level. Like we're seeing something, but we're not being let into something.
No, I would completely agree with that.
And I think, again, I'm comparing the two because it's another... We talked about this film anyway. It's a Vietnam film that came out within a year of each other.
Yeah.
The opening of Apocalypse Now does everything in that one moment that I think Deer Hunter is trying to do.
Yeah.
Like that entire moment where we see the explosions, and then we fade into Martin Sheen in his room, and he goes on and we have the end playing. Like that moment there is everything that Deer Hunter is trying to say within its 3 hours. I think, and again, it gets there. It gets there to points. We get moments.
Yeah.
The roulette scene, the first Russian roulette scene, I think really hits home with that moment, with that type of thing. I think Nick in the medical facility really hits home with that type of thing. I think them on the basketball court leads up to that wonderfully. And there's moments presented to where I'm like, right, now give me something.
And then it doesn't.
Yeah. We did talk about when Mike went to see Steve.
Yeah, okay. I don't know about that. Because you got a sense that Steve was very different now. And I couldn't tell if he was or not.
Yeah. No,
because I feel like he got the least to do out of the boys at the beginning anyway.
I honestly thought my thought was like he's gonna die. Then that was my genuine thought. He's getting married. It's good. It's just an easy setup for him to get fucking bopped in the head, and then we're gonna have the sad scene where Michael goes to Andrea, and be like he's dead. And I was thinking to myself, we're gonna get that scene. We didn't.
Yeah.
It subverted my expectations. And again, we had a moment where we could have explored a lot more, which we didn't. But
the thing with Andrea, when Mike goes around to see Andrea,
that was a weird scene. That was odd.
It was very strange.
Yeah.
And you're led to believe that she's gone insane.
Yeah.
Is how that was very much how that was written and how it was performed and how it was shown and directed. Everything led you to believe she's gone insane because of whatever's happened to Steve. You find out what's happened to Steve, and it's very sad. And then the funeral and the wake at the end, and she's fine.
Yeah.
She's there and she's holding the child, and Steve's there with her. And
they seem chill.
They seem absolutely fan-dabby-dozy. Everything's fine. Don't even worry about it. And it's kind of like, but what? We didn't really get an explanation on what had happened to them.
Again,
at all.
Honestly, a good chunk of that story plot point could have been cut as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what this feels like?
Go on.
This film feels a lot like a video game where you have to do the side missions to get to your own main story.
Yes.
That's what this feels
Yes, it
like
does.
Like, but the only thing is, I'm not playing this.
It's like you're watching someone else play a video game like that.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, this is dragging a little bit. Do you know what this is? This podcast here that we're recording now is a reverse conversation, right?
Yeah.
You know how when we did the conversation, I was like, I like this movie even more the more we talk about it.
Yeah.
I like this movie less the more we're talking about it.
And it's bad.
Maybe I hate this. I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
We'll see in times to come. Again, I'm not hating it. It's just, I don't know. Like,
it feels like a missed opportunity.
I think that's why I'm the most upset about this film. Like, because it's not a shit film. It isn't.
No, it's really not.
Like, I was like, but you had things, you had moments, you had like, it's not like I had like massive expectations going into it, but
the film made promises at the beginning.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That they didn't pay off.
We had a really solid first act. Could have been trimmed, but we had a really solid first act.
Although it goes on a little bit, it sets things up perfectly for a story that isn't told.
We had a good start of the second.
Yeah.
And then we have missed opportunities like following it.
Completely.
That's what we get, I think. And I think like we got like, and again, I don't like comparing films because I don't think that's fair to a film to compare one people's.
No.
But there's just a lot. Again, a year later, Coppola did so much more with Vietnam.
Yeah.
With Apocalypse Now. And again, it's bad for me to say, and I shouldn't do it, but like, it feels like a Best Picture winner. It feels like an Academy Award winning Best Picture winner about how people like, that was such a riveting depiction of war. And it's like, it was a half-baked depiction of that.
I think, do you know what it is? Because I understand completely your comparison to Apocalypse Now. A comparison I would like to make would be to Da 5 Bloods.
I know, I want to talk, but yeah.
If you want to watch a film which deals with a specific friendship group and the effects that the Vietnam War had on them, I feel like Da 5 Bloods does a far better job at saying things than this did.
That's kind of a controversial thought, but I do agree that I would say I got a lot more of Da 5 Bloods than I did the Deer Hunter. And I think there's a big thing because, again, war films, I'm throwing it in terms of the general war film as a category, right?
Yeah.
You need to make me really intrigued in a film to make me revisit it. And with a war film, you need to make me feel like you said something poignant and something valuable to where I would go back and I would want to get into that mindset again at some point. I don't mean having a good time, but I mean, Inglourious Basterds is different because I'm like, but that's, that's not really a war film.
That's Tarantino.
That's a Tarantino film with World War II as the backdrop. Fucking brilliant, by the way. But anyway, like Apocalypse Now, I continue to revisit it. I will revisit it because there's so much in there for me to unpack. Past the Glory, Kubrick did that with World War One. It's a film that I will revisit because there's a lot more to it, and there's a lot said in there, and the same thing with Da 5 Bloods. I will revisit that. I will.
Yeah.
I didn't love it, but I really liked it, and I will go back to it because there's something about it. I can't see the only way that I'll go back to the Deer Hunter is if, like, I don't know, 10 years from now, and I get like the 4K. I'm like, I fancy watching that again. Let me have a look at that. But
it'd be the only reason I'd rewatch it again is to decide whether I did genuinely not like it as much as I feel like I didn't.
I would watch it with someone else. That's the only way that I'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
exactly.
All right, then it's your first time or something like that. Okay, then I'll give it another go. See what I'm like with it. That's the only time I can imagine myself going to this again, in all honesty. And recently, I have been watching a lot of interviews. It's going to be relevant, don't worry. It's going to sound like I'm going completely off topic, but I'm going to come with relevance.
I trust you, man.
I've been watching, the past few days, I watched 2 recent Shia LaBeouf films. I watched The Peanut Butter Falcon, which is on Netflix in the UK, and I watched Honey Boy, which is on Prime in the UK.
Cool.
And so I've been watching a lot of interviews with Shia LaBeouf. I've become a big fan of him. Just a massive fan of the man. And so I've been watching interviews with him, and he got asked in an interview for the Peanut Butter Falcon, he got asked about what drew him to this film, to Peanut Butter Falcon, and or what draws him to films generally now as an actor. And Shia LaBeouf says he hates plot. He spent so many years being in plot films, and he can't stand plot. He likes characters. That's what makes a film for him. He just doesn't like plot at all.
Right. Okay.
And it's characters that build a film.
Yeah.
And to which I think I've discovered I'm not a plot guy. And I'm like, you can do a film about anything, but give me some characters I'm into. That's what's interesting to me. I think Apocalypse Now, that's a character film. I think Defy Bloods, that's a character film. Deer Hunter's a plot film.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it. The Deer Hunter is a major plot film.
Yeah,
with all
I
the plot,
would say so.
With all the plot. That's what that is. Because it's like, right, we see these guys before the war. And then it's the war. And then there's this Russian roulette thing. And then there's more Russian roulette. And then he comes back. And then he interacts again. But then he goes back to find his mate. That's a war. That's a plot film.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. That's my thing with it. Because, and I think in relation to last week's podcast, talking about blockbustery stuff, I don't think it's what I've discovered. That's what I don't dig about a lot of blockbusters, because a lot of blockbusters are plot films.
Yes.
They're not much character films. I liked Endgame a lot.
Yeah.
Endgame's a character film, if there ever was a fucking character film.
Yeah.
And I hated Justice League because it was just Snyder being like, "Look at the plot."
Yeah.
And so I think that's where it is. Where I'm at with them. And when I mean a character film, I don't mean this deep, independent character study of a dark character. A character film can be Mad Max, where I'm well into these characters.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I'm only like little small indie flicks or prestige pictures. I just like I like stories where a character is the focus and the stories around them.
Yeah.
And I think The Deer Hunter is a plot film with characters in it.
Yeah. I would agree with that, yeah. I think it sets up good characters, but the story it's telling never serves them as well as it seems like they would deserve from the setup that they get at the beginning.
Yes.
You know, they kind of drop it.
Yeah.
For things to happen.
Yeah, that's what it is.
For them to just kind of do Russian roulette, go bowling for some reason, you know, go to a motel, like things to happen that don't seem to have any effect on anyone.
Yeah, because again,
by the end.
Yeah, because again, I'm just bringing back to a point there that I mentioned on about the bowling scene. That was just a thing that happened. But how we discussed what would have made it interesting if you made it a character thing about how Mike was like, I can't be in these loud noises.
Yeah.
Instantly more interesting of a scene.
Yeah, 100% more interesting.
Like take away Axel sliding down the aisle, take that out, and have a one-to-one private conversation with Stan and Mike.
Yeah.
Instantly better.
Because John's there.
You have John Cazale, and you don't have a John Cazale scene.
Yeah.
I mean, I Love You Baby is a good scene. When he's singing along with that. I love that.
That
was prime John Cazale.
The Boots one's pretty good.
The Boots scene is a good John Cazale scene. Yeah. I don't even know what makes a John Cazale scene. It's the feeling, isn't it? You know,
it's the feeling.
It's like, yep, that's a Cazale moment.
And the weird bit with his handgun is not great.
No.
I really I don't like it.
But yeah, I think that's our overall. I think I can't think of much more to say without repeating myself with the Deer Hunter.
No, I can't.
Honestly, so we'll wrap up our thoughts of the Deer Hunter there.
Yes.
We'll slide into some trivia. with it.
Let's do it.
There's quite a bit.
I'm up for it.
There's quite a
Cool.
bit. So,
I love me some trivia.
Yeah. Director Michael Cimino convinced Christopher Walken to spit in Robert De Niro's face. When Walken actually did it, De Niro was completely shocked, as evidenced by his reaction. In fact, De Niro was so furious about it, he nearly left the set. Cimino later said of Walken, he's got courage.
What? So that makes it sound like the director knew Robert De Niro was going to get really upset about it and was like, bloody hell, I didn't think he'd do it.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably led him on to do it. That's quite funny.
The slapping in the Russian roulette sequences was 100% authentic. The actors grew very agitated by the constant slapping, which, naturally, added to the realism of the scenes.
No. Don't slap people. It's weird.
You can see, like, Walken getting pissed off in the first scene. He's like, oh, God damn it.
Understandably so. I'd be pissed off.
You're just hitting me.
If I just kept getting hit take after take, I'm terrified.
Right, here's a bit of a tragic thing here.
Go on.
John Cazale was very weak when filming began, and for this reason, his scenes were filmed first. Michael Cimino knew from the start that Cazale was dying from cancer, but the studio did not. When they found out, they wanted to replace John Cazale. When Meryl Streep learned of their intentions, she threatened to quit if they did so. Cazale died shortly after filming was complete. He never saw the completed film.
Oh, good on Meryl Streep, by the way. That's excellent stuff.
I think that's how Cazale got in the film. Because what happened was, I think they got De Niro, and then Streep got on because of De Niro, because I think this was after Kramer versus Kramer, so Meryl was
right. Okay. Yeah.
Was it after? No, I think it might be before. I can't remember. Either way, and so through that, and then when Meryl got on board, she brought Cazale with her.
Yeah.
And I think the studio was fine because he's second billing John Cazale in the
yeah,
film.
He's great.
Like it's De Niro and Cazale. I think at that point they're like, well, he did The Godfather, so we can get him like as quite high billing.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is interesting. We were like, I think it was like an insurance thing. It's like, well, if he dies, we're gonna have to like pay for a whole film again.
Yeah.
Which would have been, you could have written around it. I mean, depending.
Yeah, completely.
Depending when it happened with the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus when Ledger died.
Yeah.
Just redid it. And
with like when Kevin Spacey got found out to be a terrible person, and they got Christopher Plummer in that one time.
Remember, did you see this joke article at one point where they went, they're going to get Tom Hanks to replace Kevin Spacey in the Call of Duty game?
What?
I saw this like joke article at one point where they were like, oh, Activision are going to get Tom Hanks to digitally redo the whole Call of Duty game for Kevin Spacey.
What?
Obviously that wasn't a thing because that would be ridiculously expensive. But like,
yes.
Imagine the Tom Hanks DLC of Call of Duty.
Oh, brilliant! Fucking hell.
I looked up how Kevin Spacey died in that game because I don't give a shit about Call of Duty. So
I'm sure I played that one.
He just falls, doesn't he? I think he just like he's like Hans Gruber's.
Yes, yeah, he does. God, yeah. I think that was one of the last ones that I properly played.
What was it? Was that Ghost? I can't remember. I don't know.
I can't remember. It was shit.
They to be fair, Robbie, I lose track of them after a fucking while. I never played them anyway. But
yeah.
I lost track of it anyway. But yeah, anyway.
I only played the Treyarch ones.
But yeah, but back to a serious point.
Yeah, sorry.
Because I'll never saw it. That's one thing I was very surprised at. Because I watched the whole credits. I was waiting for like In Memory of John Cazale.
Did it not?
Nah. And I'm like, and then I checked, and when like, did he die like soon? Like, yeah, he didn't like. The film wasn't even fucking edited.
That's really shit.
I'm like, oh, hey, come on, Michael Cimino.
Come on, lads. Jesus.
Put an in memoriam of John Cazale.
You know, because he's the best person.
He has the best filmography ever.
He does. On ratios, he does.
This is his only like stink. It's not even a stinker.
It's not even a stinker. It's just fine.
This is his only not great one.
Yeah. And having a bad day, that's fine.
And even then, still won Best Picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wait.
Jesus, what a life.
Yeah. I want to learn more about the man.
I do. Yeah.
I want to know if there's like a book about him. That'll be interesting. There's a doc about him. I'll probably watch that.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that at some point.
The scene where Stephen is yelling, "Michael, there's rats in here, Michael," as he is stuck in the river, is John Savage yelling at Michael Cimino because of his fear of rats, which were infesting the river area. He was yelling for the director to pull him out of the water because of the rats. It looked real, and they kept it in.
Fuck's sake. Why do I feel like this director was a bad person? I'm starting to get the feeling that this guy was just a bit of a dick. Go on, just spit in De Niro's face. He'll find it funny.
Go on, Chris. Go on, do it.
Go on, do it.
The woman who was given the task of casting the extras in Thailand had much difficulty finding a local to play the vicious-looking individual who runs the game. The first actor hired turned out to be incapable of slapping Robert De Niro in the face. I don't know how you're incapable.
Yeah.
Do that. It's fine. The cast thankfully knew a local Thai man with a particular dislike of Americans and cast him accordingly. De Niro suggested that Christopher Walken be slapped for real by one of the guards without any warning. The reaction on Walken's face was genuine.
Was that in retaliation of the spit?
I like to think one of them had to come first. So either it was like I
feel like the director told Christopher Walken to spit on Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro got so upset that he told one of the guys to actually smack Christopher Walken.
Come on, bat him.
Go on, hit him one. That's great.
I like that. The casting woman found knew a local Thai man with a particular dislike for Americans. I like that.
So why did he agree to do it? Probably money.
Probably got money and got about an American. You know what? You're fine.
What more can you want?
If you just hate a nation, you get paid for like hitting them. Why not?
Brilliant.
I know if I was an incredible racist, I would do the same, but I'm not, so I don't have that problem. Robert De Niro recently explained that the scene where Michael visits Stephen in the hospital for the first time was the most emotional scene that he was ever involved with. He broke down in tears while discussing the scene in AFI Life Achievement Award, a tribute to Robert De Niro from 2003. Interesting.
That is, yeah. I mean, yeah, I suppose. I didn't get that much from it, but...
No, but again, we weren't in the scene.
Yeah,
and as we know, De Niro's quite method in his acting.
Yeah,
he's not wanky method, but
he gets into it.
Yeah.
And to see if he's like getting this idea in his head that this person is a friend that he's known for years, and then he sees him for the first time with no leg and a non-working arm.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Yeah.
According to Michael Cimino, Robert De Niro requested a live cartridge in the revolver for the scene in which Michael subjects Stanley to an impromptu game of Russian roulette to heighten the intensity of the situation. John Cazale agreed without protest, but obviously rechecked the gun before each take to make sure that the live round wasn't next in the chamber.
Fuck me. That's horrifying. I mean, brilliant, but that is horrifying.
Do you think Cazale was like, I'm already dying of cancer, so I'm not like...
That is the first thing that came into my head.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Like, would he have done it otherwise?
I don't know.
Like, would you, like, have that gamble, like a 1 in a 6, like a 6th chance of getting shot in the face?
Jesus Christ.
I mean, evidently he said there about he rechecked it many days in between each take, which, yeah.
My God.
God, I wouldn't. I'll be like, nah, Robert, don't.
No, please don't do that.
It's my head you're pointing at.
It's my big old forehead.
What are you trying to say about my forehead, Robbie?
Nothing.
No, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, Oscar.
Right, slightly off topic here.
Go on.
You know this, Robbie, but for the many people listening, within the group chat between myself, Lewis, and Gary, we have moments where we grab photos of each other and we meme them, mainly of Gary. But I get sometimes Lewis gets some dealt to him, and I get some dealt to me. Lewis at one point got a photo of me from when I was a baby because I put it on Instagram. It's the one where I was with my mum's dog.
Yeah.
When I must have been about 18 months. To which he zoomed in on my face and then he put a caption saying, "One forehead to rule them all."
Pretty good, though.
And I went, fucking cheers, Lewis. It's not like I'm self-conscious about my forehead anyway. and to which he went, "No, it's all right, Oscar. You grew into your forehead." I went, "I don't know how to take that." What do you mean I grew into my forehead?
I've just had my haircut today, as you know, and so that's me going to be self-conscious about my ears for the next, 2 weeks. I've got fat ears, mate. No one notices whilst I've got my real long hair, but I've got fat ears.
You brought this up to me at one point.
Yeah.
And I didn't get it. I still don't get it. Your ears aren't that
big old ears, mate.
They're not the first thing I notice about you.
Yeah, but you've seen me, bald. So you've seen them, when they're sticking out.
Yeah, but even then I didn't know. It was Robbie, I'm not going to lie. When you walked in bald, my first thought wasn't fucking hell, his ears. It was oh, he's bald now. That's what my thought was.
I probably should have told people before I did that.
When Hutch just laughed.
Yeah, he was so confused. He said, "Why did you do it?" And I just said, "Rough night, Hutch." When in actuality, I should have said, "It was for charity, Hutch. I'm a really good person."
Which is what you did.
Which is exactly what I did. I raised some money for charity. Yeah.
It wasn't I was good that I missed that.
It's so dumb.
I didn't turn up because I was going through a bit of an emotional breakdown of that night. So I was like, So I went, "Sam, I can't come." And then the next day, you came in bald. I was like, "Oh shit, okay."
Everyone had a go.
I mean,
Leo had a go. Sam had a go at one point.
Oh, had a go shave. I thought you meant they had a go
at shaving me.
I thought they meant they had a go at you.
No. Shaving my head. Yeah. Pretty fun. Pretty fun night.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll never do it again.
Maybe I'll never.
I've done it 3 times now.
It's 3 more than I've ever done it, Robbie.
Yeah, don't. It's not worth it. It's cold. Anyway.
It's cold. I love that. I love that. It's like my head got cold. I wouldn't recommend it.
It's very cold. Thank God for Sam's grandma buying me a beanie to say congratulations. What an angel. Sorry. Anyway, continue. Back to the beer.
Robert De Niro and John Savage performed their own stunts for the fall into the river, filming the 30-foot drop 15 times in 2 days.
Bloody hell.
Mental.
Pretty fun, though.
It was a good shot.
It was a good shot, yeah.
I mean, I'll do it. If I knew it was safe.
I'd give it a go.
It was if it's deep enough water, I'll do it. I mean, I used to do competitive swimming. I'm not unfamiliar with the water. I never did a dive that big, but
Still.
Fuck it, I love the water.
Fun, isn't it?
Robert De Niro claims this was the most physically exhausting film that he's done.
Really?
I mean, Raging Bulls. I mean, fluctuate weight for that. You fluctuate weight a lot for that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Various critics objected to the Russian roulette sequences, suggesting that such activity never took place in the Vietnam War. Director Michael Cimino was planning on the scenes to cause controversy and simply stated that no one could be certain of the accuracy. Robert De Niro and Cimino reportedly argued as to the realism of the scenes.
Right. So the director's going, well, no one knows what happened, really, do they? It was this thing that happened years ago. It came out in 1978, did it?
Yeah, the Vietnam War ended in 1975, so, I mean, you know.
So what's he on about? No one really knows, do they? Well, yeah, they do. They were there. What are you talking about? Fucking idiots.
During the helicopter stunt, the runners caught on the ropes, and as the helicopter rose, it threatened to seriously injure John Savage and Robert De Niro. The actors gestured and yelled furiously to the crew in the helicopter to warn them. Footage of this is included in the film.
Oh. Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, it looked like real panic, because it was.
Yeah, it did. Because it was.
That scene was tense, I will say that. Like, when they're hanging on.
Yeah.
And, like...
That was quite good.
And De Niro's kind of trying to wrap... Steve with his legs. It looked like to try to push him up.
Yeah.
That was a moment. I was like, fucking come on. And
Do
then,
it.
And then he fell. And I went, oh, no. Damn it.
Yeah.
And then De Niro. Because I thought it was going to be a thing where, like, Steve fell, but De Niro got pulled up. I thought that was going to happen, but no. When Christopher Walken did the Russian roulette scene, he was remembering being sent to summer camp by his parents, which he hated. He felt betrayed, ostracized, alone, which he felt the character was experiencing at that point in the film.
What?
That's so funny. Yeah, that's such
So Christopher Walken just looks back to some childhood trauma.
But being sent to summer camp.
Yeah, it's not like... I mean, I don't know what happened to him in the summer camp, but that...
He just didn't like it. He felt betrayed by his parents. Getting sent there.
Jesus Christ.
That feels like such a Christopher Walken thing to say as well.
Yeah. Calm down, Chris. It's fine.
I remembered being sent to summer camp.
Is that you, Christopher Walken?
I didn't like it. Yeah, it is.
Oh, brilliant.
That's the impression of the week.
Ooby-doo.
Ooby-doo. I want to be like you.
It's like that.
Yeah. Do you know what I fucking love, which I watched the other week? I forgot he's in this. I love the small bit that Christopher Walken has in Annie Hall.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I imagine driving and turning the car and heading straight in there. Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to go back to planet Earth.
So dumb.
And then he cuts like, oh, he'll drive you. And there's that pan. I'm just like... Oh, we need to talk about Annie Hall at some point.
We do, yeah.
Oh, I fucking love it. As the Oscars drew near, the backlash against the film gathered strength. When the limos pulled up to the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion on April 9th, 1979, they were met by They were met by demonstrators, mostly from the Los Angeles chapter of Vietnam Veterans Against the War. The demonstrators waved placards covered with slogans that read, "No Oscars for Racism," and "The Deer Hunter, a Bloody Lie," and thrust pamphlets berating Deer Hunter into long lines of limousine windows. Derek Washburn, the writer nominated for Best Original Screenplay, claims his limousine was pelted with stones. According to Variety, police and the Deer Hunter protesters clashed in a brief but bloody battle that resulted in 13 arrests.
Bloody hell.
Fucking hell.
Jesus.
Mental.
Yeah.
I do feel like we're thinking about now, like looking in hindsight, the film feels like it hasn't aged well with that rawness.
No.
I'm not saying I want that. I'm not saying I want
No.
But like, you know, you get things about other war films where people go, fuck, that's mental.
Yeah.
But like, you kind of look back now and you go, that's a bit safe though, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't really get that much thing into it. I think the Vietnam War was still quite a touchy subject at that point anyway.
No, it was, yeah. No other film was really talking about it at the time.
Yeah, I think that's why, like, Apocalypse Now took such a piss take to get made. Because people were like, no one's going to want to see a Vietnam film. Jeff Bridges was considered for the role of Nick.
Oh.
Which I think would have been really good as well.
Yeah, I think that would have been quite good, yeah.
Both of them, I think, would have done just as good in the role, I think.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I like Jeff Bridges a lot. I need to see some of his older stuff. He's good. The wedding sequences were filmed in the summer, but were set in the fall. To accomplish the look of fall, leaves were removed from trees and painted orange, then were reattached to the trees. Fucking hell.
Why?
Just make
Who
it summer.
cares?
Just make it summer, mate.
Yeah.
Like, why did
Jesus.
Did it need to be autumn? Did it have to be autumn?
This director, man. Jesus.
I would have just went, it's summer, why not?
It's just summer, it's fine.
Yeah.
Christ.
The time of the year isn't really that integral to the film.
Yeah, no.
Hey, it's fucking hell.
Yeah, this guy.
According to Derek Washburn, he and Michael Cimino spent 3 days together in Los Angeles at the Sunset Marquee hammering out the plot. The script eventually went through several drafts, evolving into a story with 3 distinct acts. Washburn did not interview any veterans to write the script, nor do any research. Quote, I had a month, that was it, he explains. The clock was ticking, write the fucking script, but all I had to do was watch television. Those combat cameramen in Vietnam were out there in the field with the guys. I mean, they had stuff that you wouldn't dream of seeing about Iraq. End quote. When Washburn was finished, he says Cimino and associate producer Joan Corelli took him to dinner at a cheap restaurant off the Sunset Strip. He recalls, quote, we finished and Joan looks at me across the table and she says, well, Derek, it's fuck off time. I was fired. It was a classic case. You get a dummy, get him to write the goddamn thing, tell him to go fuck himself, put your name on the thing, and he'll go away. I was so tired, I didn't care. I'd been working 20 hours a day for a month. I got on the plane the next day, and I went back to Manhattan and my carpenter job.
That's insane.
I don't even know where to begin with that.
Yeah, that's a lot, isn't it?
I'm more interested in a film about that.
Yeah.
That's the classic story of a writer going through fucking hell to try to get a script done. First of all, he didn't do any fucking research, which I think says a lot about the film.
Yeah.
Like, no interviews at all. He just watched telly.
No, exactly.
Which
that's a bit. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you can see there,
Yeah.
like, can't you? And the fact he just got, like, kicked off it.
Yeah.
Which.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, man. That's
awful.
Derek Washburn clearly feels he seems like he has a lot of animosity towards the whole film.
Yeah, it really does seem that way.
The way, the quotes there. It feels like he didn't like this experience at all right at the Deer Hunter.
Yeah, and I'd say from that, sounds understandable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rutanya Alder, who played Andrea, actually struck her head quite hard on the doorway during the first take while being carried out of the reception hall. This is why the scene includes John Savage warning her in the take which was used.
That's quite good.
Yeah.
I like that.
When this movie was being planned during the mid-1970s, Vietnam was still a taboo subject with all major Hollywood studios. It was the English company, EMI, headed by Sir Bernard Delfont, who initially arranged financing. Universal got involved with the movie at a much later stage.
Woo!
Yeah.
Britain!
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the boys.
We love our war films, don't we?
We really do.
In the UK. We need to
it's all we do.
We need to calm down with it, I think.
Yeah.
We need to make a lot more films other than war and period.
Cockney Gangster.
Do
a lot of that.
Cockney Gangster, war films, and Victorian era. I think we need to calm down with that, I think.
Yeah, I'd say so. Oh, wait, lads.
Here we are paving the way for it, Robbie. Just you wait. Guys.
You wait, lads.
Nolan's. I just said Nolan's not too, but then he did fucking Dunkirk, didn't he? So he kind of went back.
You did, yeah.
Fuck.
Which I don't really like.
Neither do I. It's his weakest film. It's his worst film. Yeah. Get in, Robbie. We agree with that.
Come on, lads. We're friends.
Tenet, well, looking forward to it still.
We'll wait and see.
I'll see what happens with it.
Yeah, we could do like a quick little review. Our initial thoughts coming out of it or something.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Michael Cimino originally wanted Brad Dourif to play Steven.
Okay.
I could have seen that.
Yeah.
Brad Dourif did. This would have been 3 years after One Flew the Cuckoo's Nest, which I think he won the Academy Award for.
Yeah.
Fuck, I haven't seen that film in years. I need to watch that again.
No, I haven't.
God, it was good.
I've got it downstairs, but
yeah,
I haven't seen it in a while.
I watched it because for college I was designing a book cover for the book One Flew the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh, right, okay.
So I watched it. It was the first 18 rated film I saw because for that reason I convinced my mum. I was like, it's for work.
It's for school, Mum, please.
And then after I did that, I was like, well, since I watched that, can I watch Reservoir Dogs? She was like, all right then. I was 16, so I was like, yeah, how we coming, Mum?
Yeah, come on.
It's only 2 more years.
Excellent.
Michael Cimino was criticised for one-sidedly portraying all the North Vietnamese as sadistic racists and killers. Cimino countered that his film was not polemical, literally accurate, or posturing for any particular point of view. He further defended his position by saying that he had news clippings from Singapore that confirmed Russian roulette was used during the war. I don't know. That feels a bit like, look, I got this though.
Exactly.
Just stick to your point of like, I'm not trying to make any message with it.
Yeah.
Just stick to that.
Jesus, Mike.
Cited by Jodie Foster as her favourite film. Interesting.
You're an idiot, Jodie Foster. Got him.
Hey!
Wayo.
This film was Michael Cimino's breakthrough and downfall. The success of the film gave Cimino free rein of his next film. He decided to make Heaven's Gate, which came out in 1980. However, Cimino ran into production problems during the making of the film and overran the budget. As a result, it was one of the biggest box office flops in film history and nearly caused United Artists to go bankrupt, destroying Cimino's reputation and career.
You love to see it. Nice one, Michael.
The rise and fall.
Yeah. Idiot.
I've always heard of Heaven's Gate. Always heard of it. Like it was a fucking disaster.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but I have heard of it.
I think it was over 3 hours, and it just
okay.
And it was ridiculously over budget, and just no fucker went to see it.
Yeah.
Who was in? I forgot who was. I don't care enough to even look it up. Composer Stanley Myers originally wrote Cavatina for the film The Walking Stick, which became the theme music for this film, as a much shorter piece for the piano. Classical guitarist John Williams, not that John Williams, I had a note, persuaded him to expand it and rewrite it for guitar. Williams's recording of the piece was later used for the film. Cleo Lane has also recorded a vocal version, He Was Beautiful, accompanied by Williams. I would be interested in hearing that.
Yeah.
It's a good track. Really good, really nice piece of music. I like it.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Last 2 points here. It is generally believed that Stephen, John Savage, is not the father of Angela's baby, due to his remark that he never really did it with Angela. He was apparently the only one who offered to marry her to save the indignity of becoming an unmarried mother. In the commentary for the special edition DVD release, as of 2005, only available in the UK, Michael Cimino revealed that Nick was the father. This was a highly debated issue by fans of the film that was, until then, a mystery.
What and why?
Yeah, so Nick is Angela's baby daddy.
That's dumb and weird and doesn't make sense.
I mean, if you're going to make it a thing where if, like, Steven's like, I'm the one who would marry her, to make that not be a thing.
Yeah.
Why not just make it like a dude who, like, took off?
Yeah.
Like, who fucked her and left?
And the way that the one that he talks to about not having sex with Angela and everything, the baby not being his, is Nick.
Yeah, yeah, he does. Yeah.
So that's fucking dumb. You've clearly made that up after the fact, you idiot.
I don't get why Nick's the dad.
Yeah, that's really stupid.
I don't get why any of them are the dad, except if yeah, I don't get it.
If it isn't Steven, it should just be some guy.
Yeah, that like fucked off.
Yeah,
and
it's fine.
And Angela was like torn up about it, and then everyone,
yeah,
and then like and Steve talked with her about it. Like, look, I'll marry her, and we'll, we get on.
Pretend this has never happened.
Yeah, we get on well. And it'll just be that. There you go. Sorted.
Easy, Michael.
Final bit of trivia. In the original script, the roles of Mike and Nick were reversed in the last half of the film. Nick returns home to Linda while Mike remains in Vietnam, sends money home to help Steven, and meets his tragic fate at the Russian roulette table. I don't know if that would have improved it.
I feel like it makes more sense.
Yeah.
It being Mike's character that loses it.
Yeah, because we're following him.
Yeah. It seems and going off his character from beforehand, it seems like it kind of would add up more to be him.
Well, when we first cut to Vietnam and he's like gunning the guys down, it almost looks like that's happening with him.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense that was changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the trivia for
very nice.
The Deer Hunter. Interesting stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Letterboxd reviews.
Let's do it. My favourite segment of the show.
We'll still stick to just negative because
I
don't think we hate it that much. We don't hate it enough.
No, it's fine.
We don't dislike it enough to be like, let's see positive reviews. But we don't, anyway. Right.
Whatever.
All these are half a stars. Let's go
Brilliant.
to it.
Let's do it.
Half a star. Deeply problematic. That's the review. Elaborate, because I can see that, but...
Yeah, but elaborate on your point.
Half a star. This movie was so boring and pointless. I could have just slept through the whole thing.
Yes.
Fair. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. This is one of the films where I'm gonna agree on the boring. Just saying that it's boring.
Yeah. I might switch over to some positive. Maybe we can see if anything. See what happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, still half a star. So boring. The first hour could be cut out and nothing would be missed. The dialogue is stiff and awkward a lot of the time. The ending is subpar. The film cuts out parts and expects the viewer to fill in the blanks, making the plot confusing. The characters are hardly established. By the end, I didn't even care that he'd died. I don't understand why people find this to be a good movie. Out of the whole movie, I only enjoyed the small clip of De Niro running naked, and that is why it's half a star.
That I agree with some of that, but not all of it.
Yes,
is what I'd say. Like there's bits of that where I agree with what they've said there, but the entire first hour being useless, I wouldn't agree with.
No. I think the first half is the strongest part of the film. I do.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. And we didn't even comment on that. De Niro dick. Didn't think I would see that in my life.
Yep. Thanks for that.
Cheers,
Michael.
Half a star. First movie I've bailed on since 3 Billboards. Hang the fuck on.
Whoa.
Three billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. You bailed on that.
That's excellent.
That's a fantastic film.
Yeah. Don't even give him the time of day, Oscar.
I'm not even doing it. Half a star.
Get your sin off. You've been a right laugh.
Half a star. I don't know why all the hype for this one. A long, boring movie. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Half a star. Probably one of the most overrated movies to ever exist. This movie is 3 hours long and nothing happens on like 2/3 or even more. I generally can't explain how this one won Best Picture Academy Award. I think this review is a good summary of my opinion of this movie, and they link to another review. Okay.
Yeah, okay, but I wouldn't say nothing happened.
No, that's the thing. There's good There's potential in it.
I'd say it just betrays its own characters like halfway through.
I would agree. Yeah, it is almost like it becomes a different film. It does.
Yeah.
It switches. Half a star. This one's a bit lengthy. Wait, did they really just... I honestly can't remember when was the last time I disliked a movie so much. A waste of potential from huge immensities like De Niro and Streep, but every single character down to the last credible performance in this movie feels flat and awkwardly written, let alone the acting part. Dialogues are awful. The story is extremely slow and confusing, at least for me. Okay, the aftermath of war, and then, spoiler alert, nothing. Cinematography was okay, but much more like whatever. Editing is goddamn awful most of the times, and okay, I get it's the late 70s, but by then we already have masterful pieces by Scorsese, Schumacher, and Coppola and Merck. And 3 hours, holy damn, you could have easily cut 50 minutes from it and still be the same bad story, but at least we could get to watch another thing to wash this off. I think that my biggest two issues with this movie are, one, how casually and victimized they portrayed the American intervention in the Vietnam War, and two, the fact that it won Best Picture in 78. Seriously, Academy, what the fuck? I could write more about this, but I just lost 184 minutes of my life watching this movie, and another 5 writing this review. Okay. I wouldn't say the cinematography was just okay. I actually think that was really fucking good. Editing, I don't know if I would say it's bad. I think the editing's actually alright.
It's fine. Nothing stood out to me.
No.
But it's like, in either direction, nothing stood out to me as being bad or good. It's just kind of like, it's edited.
Yeah, dialogues are awful. I don't know if I would say the dialogue is awful.
No, I disagree with that. I think that the way that the characters bounce off each other, particularly in that first half, is really solid stuff.
Again, I will keep saying it, that bar scene when they're singing, I love it.
It's excellent.
Yeah, it's
the scene with the boots again.
Yeah.
In terms of dialogue, that scene's great.
Yeah. It just feels quite raw and like
yeah.
Yeah. No, there's moments in that review that I agree with. Half a star. This moves at a painfully glacial pace. The script is extremely clunky and bloated. At least an hour of this could have been edited out and would change absolutely nothing, and the characters are hardly defined, almost interchangeably so. This 3-hour film felt like a 6-hour film, and I disliked almost all of it. The only thing I did enjoy was the brief sequence of a very fit Robert De Niro running around naked. The remaining 3 hours aren't worth your time. Okay. I don't
know.
I don't know if I would say the characters are interchangeable.
No.
I mean,
I definitely wouldn't say that.
I think that's because of the actors, mainly.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. And yeah, sure, naked De Niro, if that's your thing, you got it.
You got it. Well done. All the power to you.
Yeah, go for it.
Hope you enjoyed it.
If you like the shirtless Jeff Goldblum, that's also in there as
Jurassic
well.
Park was for you.
And if you like Dicks Out De Niro, then you've got Deer Hunter for that.
Exactly.
And if you like,
there's a movie for everyone, as we say.
If you like Dicks Out for Arnold, first Terminator.
You see it.
Which I didn't realize until someone told me that.
Yeah.
Which is something I didn't realize that.
Pretty great.
Half a star. With a run time of just about 3 hours, it is to be expected that this movie can be a tad long, and even with those expectations going in, the movie felt sluggish. Unfortunately, I can't think of a single positive thing to say about this movie. The plot was as bland as eating a spoonful of flour. The acting was not anything special, but serviceable. The music, forgettable. The scenery, forgettable as well. The characters are unimpressive, and their development is trivial. Slight spoilers below. I might also just take this opportunity to share my 5 cents on Russian roulette. It is not a thrilling sport, ? But rather something best enjoyed by underdeveloped minds and just plain idiotic to engage in. I am of course not talking about the scene where they are captured and forced into it, as that is the best part and only interesting scene of the entire movie. Okay, yeah, I can break that Russian roulette point down.
Yeah.
The first bit, it should be the only Russian roulette scene. I don't like it when it just becomes a thing to get into.
Yeah, it just becomes kind of like a weird motif throughout the whole thing that doesn't really hit anything home.
No, yeah.
For me.
Yeah. But the plot was bland, as in a spoonful of flour. I don't know if I would say bland. Yeah. The acting was not anything special, but serviceable. I would say that's the only thing that saves the.
Yeah, that's the saving grace. I would say it's what sticks out to me is the performances, definitely.
Yeah, the music is forgettable. I will admit I can't remember much about the score, but again, it's the cavatina.
It is very good.
It's good. The scenery forgettable as well. I don't think the scenery is forgettable at all.
Particularly in the hunting sequences, definitely not.
Deer hunt again. Any greenery in this film.
Looks great.
And the characters are unimpressive and their development is trivial. I can see that. I can see.
Yeah. I think the actors very much carry the characters.
Definitely.
As opposed to the scripts.
Yes.
Being a guide for actors.
Final point. White people need movies to teach them that war is bad.
Right?
All right. Hang on.
What? Excuse me?
Why do you have to make it a race thing? Why do you have to?
Yeah, come on, dude. We're just two straight white males trying to talk about movies.
Yeah, miss. It's a woman. There you go. I said it there. But yeah, I don't need a film to understand war. I just need. Yeah. I know that profession that involves going to another country and trying to murder other people is bad. I don't need that. I have morals. I don't need a film to tell me. I just watch films to delve into those feelings.
Yeah. Okay. Is that okay with you?
You know what? What's your favourite films? I'm gonna say, all right, you've got some. All right, they're not bad.
What's up there?
Stalker, the Tarkovsky film, which I haven't seen yet.
I haven't seen that.
And Eyes Wide Shut,
okay.
which I haven't seen yet, but
yeah,
last Kubrick film.
Thomas Cruise.
Nicola Kidman.
Nicola Kidman.
So yeah, those are negative Letterboxd reviews. I don't think it's worth delving into the positive because
nah,
I don't feel strongly either way.
No, I think I'm kind of directly down the middle for this one.
And I honestly, and you know what? And I'll say this now, and I briefly mentioned it earlier. If you like The Hurt Locker, you'll love The Deer Hunter. And if you're not into them, and if you're not into The Deer Hunter, or if you're not into The Hurt Locker, you probably won't really be into The Deer Hunter. That's my point there.
Fair enough.
And both of them.
Does that work vice versa? Should I not watch The Hurt Locker?
I think The Hurt Locker is worse than The Deer Hunter.
Oh, okay.
I take a lot less away from The Hurt Locker than I do The Deer Hunter.
Okay.
There's not a Russian roulette scene in the sense there's not a scene to where I can say this is one of the best things ever in film. Yeah. Man, you know what? Okay. You know what? I thought about that Russian roulette scene. I was like, you know what? That could be a very interesting short and like that concept because it's an easy enough concept to do.
Oh yeah,
crime thing, like an underground grimy thing about people doing Russian roulette.
Yeah,
simple concept, does it well. Anyway, that was The Deer Hunter.
It was indeed.
That was the final John Cazale film.
Yes, rest in peace, you sweet prince.
Honestly, man, that's one of the things I'm glad about this podcast has done. I've grown an immense appreciation for John Cazale. I always liked him.
Well, I hadn't seen him in anything.
No, yeah, this was your first time watching his entire filmography.
And he's excellent. And I love him.
Yeah. It makes me so sad that he didn't do more. So
yeah.
I mean, he didn't live long enough to do more. That's the sad bit about it. Which is a big shame. But anyway. So what's next, ladies and gentlemen? Well, what is next is a bit of a break. We're having a bit of a mid-season finale here.
We are indeed.
I enjoy doing this show, Robbie.
So do I, man. It's great.
And I don't want it to feel like a chore or rough.
Yeah.
Or like something that I feel like I have to do. I like setting myself a schedule to where we can be like, to where we be like, we got to do this episode, we got to do it then, so let's do it then. I like doing that, but we like watching films, we like talking about films, but also, Robbie, we want more so than that. We want to make films, which is something we're going to try. We're not going to try to make I'm currently in the middle of making an R&Q film at the minute. You're going to be.
Me and Julia are doing something pretty soon.
You're trying to delve into something there.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. It'd be a lot of it's a bit of experimenting into silent kind of visual storytelling, and I get to mess around with my special effects stuff, which I've been learning, which is exciting for me.
How are you uploading? How are you going to be distributing that?
No idea as of yet.
Here's what I'm going to say, Robbie.
Go on.
If you want, slap on the R&Q channel, and it can be there.
Oh shit!
You can make it. Can make it an R&Q thing. I don't have to.
I'll talk to Julia about it.
I won't be creatively involved in any way. I can just be the distributor. I'll be the exec producer of that.
Sweet, that way for me.
There you go. You can throw it up there because that's what I want to do with R&Q. I want to make it almost a bit of a mini distribution thing, not just with my films, but other people that I know. And do
Sounds
that.
good, man.
Talk more about that at another point. But anyway, you can do that. But also, what we're going to do, Robbie, we're having obviously having a break from Intermission.
Yeah.
To talk more about scripting something that we want to develop.
That I've been working on, yeah.
Just generally, like, have time to actually discuss that and go through that. Because we've been through for 10 weeks now, Robbie, we've been doing this. We've been doing the Intermission, and, again, I love it.
It's flown by.
I love it. I love doing it. But again, I want to try to make something. I want to get into trying to develop script and stuff. So that's what we're going to do with that. And within that, I want to make that mini encouragement at people. Take time if you're a creative, or if you like to do, or anything. If you're being meaning to do something, if you keep saying to yourself, I should get to that. I'm going to tell you now. Take time to do it. Do that.
Yeah, just take a little break
from anything
and do something that you want to do.
Hey, you wanted to pick up that guitar because it went to lockdown, and you thought, I'm going to learn how to play guitar in lockdown, and you still haven't done it. Do it. Keep doing it.
Yeah.
Pick that up. You want to learn a sport. You want to try to get into, badminton. I don't know, tennis. Do it. Invest in it. You want to ride You want to ride a bike. Learn how to ride a bike. Take time to do that. Because I think I need to hear that sometimes. Because I always I want to make films, and I'm always thinking about making a film, not actually moving my way to doing that. So,
yeah, exactly.
And and the script that we will be working on, mate, I've missed it, Robbie. I haven't been at it in a while. That script, and I want to get into it. I want to get to talking to you about it and see what we can develop throughout the year. So we're going to do that. I encourage anyone else to just, if you're enjoying something and you're only doing that, make sure you share, you spread time out with it.
Yeah.
So when is the Intermission going to be back? When is the Intermission podcast going to return? How long do you have to wait until you hear our voices once again discussing films?
Our dulcet tones.
Yep. Well, be a bit longer. Be October. That'll be the next time you hear us talk. It'll be specifically, the episode will be uploaded the 3rd of October. Maybe. I'm going to say now, well, that's what we're hoping to do.
Yes.
3rd of October, the first Saturday of October, will be the start of the second half of season 1. But also, it's the first themed time we're doing. I thought it'd be fun to do a bit of a themed month for the Intermission podcast. And back in the day, not that far back in the day, in Heel Pictures, when I did that all that time, I did a thing called, 2 years of Spooktober, when I talked about films and did a Halloween short film and all that stuff. So I thought, you know what? I like the name, so I'm going to take the name and bring it to the Intermission. The Intermission podcast, we're going to present Spooktober, and we're going to go through some oldie horror films, Robbie.
It's spooky season, baby.
There's 5, and I may as well go through them now. I'll say it now.
Yeah, go on.
There's 5 Saturdays in October this year.
Yes.
So we're going to go through 5 horrors. The first one, I'll say it. I didn't know which one to go with. Okay, you know what, Robbie? I'll list 1, 2. Right, I've got to note it down. Robbie, film 1 or film 2?
Oh. 2.
The first one that we're going to return, when we return back, we'll be talking about Nosferatu.
Ooh.
Which I've never seen. I've never seen that.
I've never seen that.
An old silent horror film.
Yeah.
One of the first horror films. I thought that would be an interesting thing. And then the next week after that, for the 10th, going into Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho.
Very nice.
I love that film. Then the week after...
Never seen it.
You've never seen Psycho? Yeah.
Never seen it.
Wow. Okay.
There we go.
Cool. The third film that we'll talk about, which should hopefully be on the 17th of October. I'm going to say now, dates subject to change. I'm going to say the dates now. By this time, we're going to be in uni as well. So we'll see what happens.
Well, yeah.
We can fit it.
We can fit it in.
You'll be in Hartlepool at this point.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah. You can do it like on a week.
Moving in on the 28th of September.
You're moving in then?
Yeah.
That's our first day
But
back.
I'm going to move on like the 26th.
I was going to say that's our day, but that's the first day back.
Yeah.
That's literally the first day of uni.
Yeah.
17th of October, we're going to go to The Haunting from 1963. Never saw that one.
Never seen it.
I've heard it's really good. On the 24th of October, we're going to go to The Exorcist.
Nice. Very nice.
Saw it once. And on Saturday, 31st of October, on Halloween Day itself,
Yeah.
going to go through The Shining.
Nice.
So that's Spook.
Good little selection there.
So
I'm excited for that.
So that's Spooktober. That's Intermission's first annual Spooktober.
Yeah.
I'll go through again. Nosferatu. I want to say again, Robbie, the other choice would have been The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Oh, which I've seen and it's real boring and I don't like it.
Oh, I've never seen it. I want to.
Oh.
We could do that next year.
We can do that next
We
year.
can do that next year.
I remember I watched it for A-levels and I thought it was real weird.
No, but anyway, so Nosferatu, then Psycho, then The Haunting, then The Exorcist, and then The Shining. That's a good eclectic thing. We've got one silent, we've got 2 black and white ones from the 60s, we've got a 70s one, and then we've got an 80s one. I think that's a good
Very nice.
mix there.
Yeah, that's a nice little
So that's when you'll see us next for the Intermission. October for Spooktober. Again, subjects to change. Dates subject to change. How would you know if dates change? Well, how about you go over and follow us on Instagram?
Yeah, let's go over the little Instagram page, man.
Links in the description below for everything in there, for all necessary links to the Intermission podcast that you need.
I thought you were going to announce that you're sending out personal letters to each and every one of the listeners. If the dates change.
For everyone. Yeah, I dished them out. I go send me your P.O. box. I'll
personalised handwritten letters.
I'll do a handwritten letter from one Oscar W. Fisher to say, by the way, we're not doing that.
By the way, it's not the 3rd. It's going to be the 4th now.
If I had to do that for everyone that's commented on a podcast, I would send it to Sam. I'll slide it under his...
Oh, it's just to Sam.
I'll slide...
Crown all.
No, Titan. He's going to be in Titan now.
Oh, he's going to be in Titan. He's going to be living with me.
I would slide... I'll be like, right, okay, all the commenters, and I'll slide the note under his door. And then that would be just a simple note to say, by the way, it's not the 3rd anymore.
Yeah.
And Sam's going to be like, what the fuck is this, Oscar? I'm like, I'll let you know, Sam.
Don't worry about it.
Let you know, Sam. But yeah, there you go. Final bit of message I want to say there. Anyone who likes to be creative, take this time to be creative, because just do it. Just fucking do it.
Yeah.
We've
got some time off at the minute.
We're going to do it.
Yeah.
In between also preparing for 2nd year university.
Yes.
I'm kind of terrified.
But
it'll be fine. It'll be okay.
Yeah, it'll be good. Don't worry
I'll
about
get through it. No one has worries about me except me.
Exactly.
As my lecturer told me. You and I literally have no worries about you, Oscar. You're the only one who worries about yourself. Right,
yeah.
I know.
And I'd say that's highly accurate.
And it won't change. It will never change. Anyway, thank you, everyone, for listening.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to the first 10, guys.
To the first 10. Crazy.
Yeah.
What was your favourite John Cazale film?
It was Dog Day Afternoon.
The Godfather for me.
Okay.
It's a Godfather. I might upload things on the YouTube channel. I don't know. We'll see. Whatever.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
See what happens. Keep an eye out, but also don't just watch your screens all the time. Just do shit. There you go. That's
do shit. If you get a notification, check it out. If you don't,
but it's also
do shit.
But it's also going to end with the thing of like, just why are you still watching this? Just go on. Just do.
Just go on.
Fucking have a life, man. Oh wait. Anyway,
come on,
Robbie. What are we on? What are we on?
We're on 2 hours 27.
That's perfect timing.
We've done pretty well there.
Yeah. It's not longer than the film.
Woo!
It's the first time
Robbie. Everyone.
It's the first time I think since maybe Godfather 3.
Probably, yeah.
Even then, I think we were borderline in matching the length of the Godfather 3.
Well, yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. We'll see you for Spooktober.
See you in Spooktober, boy.
Bye.
Bye.